And because of this pandemic, everyone's got the masks looking like ninjas. So
perfect time to move to the news. every time Kev kills the conversation, that's when you move on.
That's a segue right there, man.
Kev saying we're all ninjas.
We're all ninjas.
We're all ninjas.
Level 857 Video Game Podcast.
Ah, yes. Whether it's a beer, a shot, or even a glass of wine, grab your favorite beverage and welcome to the Level 857 Video Game Podcast. We are your hosts, as always, Al G857.
The 23rd Stallion.
Stikz.
Turbo 857.
And your boy Big Chuck, what up?
And the special guest that we have for you tonight is responsible for the construction of several instrumental tracks for many popular games that you probably know. Resident Evil 6, Street Fighter 5, Yakuza, Dead Souls, and now the Kickstarter project 2D beat 'em up, Fallen City Brawl. Please give a warm welcome to music producer extraordinaire, Daniel Lindholm.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the show. That was amazing. All right, now drop kick me hard.
Man.
It's like if you were a professional wrestler, he would be your own announcer coming down to the ring right before.
That's WrestleMania worthy.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Daniel.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And just like every podcast, we talk about the games we've been playing for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who would like to begin? Who'd like to give it a shot?
Dragon Quest.
I guess you.
11. Yes. Dragon Quest 11. They got further in that game. Still haven't beaten it. These games drag on. These Dragon Quest
Aren't
games.
all Dragon Quest games at least 40 hours plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
80
It's like, well, no, they're more than that. They're like 70.
Jesus.
They're like,
Hence the
Like
name.
Baldur's Gate.
yeah.
Hence the name Drag on Quest.
Drag on.
I'm at
Ding.
55 right now. 55. Yeah.
Oh
So I'm still playing that.
Almost in the home stretch.
Halfway through.
Almost
I'm
halfway.
almost there. I feel towards the end of the game, but they pulled a Final Fantasy 6. You know, I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but they kind of pull a Final Fantasy 6.
Well, if no one's played it now, screw them.
Well, you got points.
There could be a remake coming. You never know.
You know,
That's true.
but that's kind of that in Smash Brothers. I'm playing a lot of Smash Brothers. Yeah, and it's like some characters went down, but Link and Samus, they don't drop. They stay in Elite, and that's the way.
Oh, they're in Elite still?
They're both in Elite.
Nice.
Really?
They're both in Elite. Yeah.
How hard is
good.
that?
Elite. Well, I'm not gonna lie. There are killers at that level. Straight up killers. You know, but I've killed quite a few of them. I've killed quite a few of these killers. So I guess, you know, it's like, but every match I have is a tough match.
It's always a pain.
It's not like, well, no, maybe every 6 or 7 matches, I really dominate the person. Like, I really I'm like, this person was like a 7.5, which is like a 7,500,000, which is really, really good. And I beat him kind of easily, and I was surprised. I was like, huh? I was like, he was a Donkey Kong.
No, that's probably the ones that are used to doing a cheap move and got that high. Then you figured it out. They don't know what to do after the cheap. Yeah, when you figure out the cheap move, they don't know what to do.
And I was Samus for a 7.5. He was Link. I shut his shit down.
Did you record it?
That I didn't record because I ran out of space.
Oh, man.
I should have recorded that. I ran out of space. My freaking SD card.
So it never happened.
It was close at first, but then I just shut him down. I was like, damn. I was like, I've been Link versus Samus. I never knew that a Link could get shut down like that. But yeah, they're killers at that level. At that level, they're crazy. You know.
Only those 2 games?
That was it for these.
Anyone else?
These weeks. Yeah, that was it. I haven't played too much. Oh, Shenmue 3. Yeah, still getting through that. Not bad.
How is it as opposed to the other ones you played?
It plays better, looks better. Voice acting similar.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Dude.
You have to get the same guy. If it's like you have to get the same bad voice acting, you can't make it good now.
It's charming. It's a very charming game, though. Even just walking around talking to people, I love. You know, it brings that back, and it's like you know, you talk to this person, go to that person, got the same yellow notebook.
Creator's like, you want to improve this after all these years? Nah, they don't want that.
Fanfare, man. It's
Fighting's a little bit different. You know, you sometimes have to press combinations to do a move instead of just pressing forward X. Sometimes you got to press X, O. You know, so that's a little getting used to.
Look
But
like they broke that.
it's not broken. It's just getting used to. It's not bad.
I saw it.
You saw it, yeah, but that was it. That's all I played.
Look broken to me.
Damn.
You're a hater. You're a hater.
That hate.
I don't know. Maybe everybody sucked.
Damn.
Whoa.
Damn, Jay.
I'm gonna have to stream it though. Play it the right way.
I'm talking about the people playing, not the creators, man.
Damn, that's foul.
So what about you, Jay? What do you?
Well, mostly I've been working on this game called, the streaming game. Trying to get things streaming right and correct in OBS. That's a game in itself. But
Should
yeah,
be a
we got
game.
a lot of changes going on, a lot of things we're doing. Trying to do a lot of more live things, so
Yeah.
you'll see it on the channel soon. But besides that, I went the mobile route this week.
Huh?
Mobile.
Jeez, mobile.
Why would you do that?
Oh, man.
Because
Why would you
do that?
because I had to
That's
try out this game. I had to try out this game called Pin Out.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Yes.
It was the it's like a pinball game,
Yeah.
but musical. So it's not as much as a regular pinball game is like rack up the points, rack up, bounce off stuff and
right.
beat things. It's not quite that. It's very different. It's more of a precision game, and you have to hit the ball the perfect way. And once you get used to how it plays, you don't play it like a pinball game. It's like, okay, I have to aim.
Is it
right
like
there.
pool?
I have to aim right there. I have to aim right there.
Really?
And if you miss it, you fall all the way down, and
Oh.
your time runs out. And you think, oh, this is easy. And then as you get further and further, you have to be on point every hit that you make. Otherwise, your time is up.
So you gotta memorize the.
Basically, yeah. But
it's-
you get in a trance from the music and stuff. It's not like you're controlling the music, but it is like synth music and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
cool.
and it looks like the purples and the blues and the pinks.
Purples and the blue.
colors.
Those are
neon
synth colors.
colors.
The
You know the
synth colors.
neon. You know the neon
Neon
80s
colors,
colors.
man.
Yeah.
Synth colors.
It looks cool. It moves cool. But as far as pinball physics, not quite there. But that's because it's not a pinball game.
Well,
Okay.
it's not
But
double.
it's fun, and you do get addicted because you think that you can get further every time, and you do. And then sometimes you're like, I wrecked this. I got to just sit here and wait for the time to run out because you did wrong.
That's a sign of a good mobile game, then.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
that's
not
solid
bad. I would
design.
prefer obviously on a controller. I still want my buttons,
Right.
Yeah.
because then you can really be precise with it. Because sometimes you'll be having your fingers over the
Right.
screen.
No, that's never.
And then it's gonna move, and you're like, I didn't hit that. I didn't hit that. You ruined my whole game. But
sucks
that's
with
a
that.
phone game for you.
It sucks because I can't do touch controls because of that,
Yeah.
and because I'm a stickler with like wiping
Well,
my
you have
screen.
to do precise stuff.
I'm a stickler when it comes to like wiping my screen.
Yep.
So if I'm playing and there's something on my screen and I go to wipe it off, I'm like, I can't.
Plus with,
Sometimes that improves your game.
plus with them greasy ass fingers.
Oh man. Well,
But
gotta
I was
stop
impressed.
being-
I was impressed by it, though. I like it. I do want to beat it. I don't know.
I still feel that pinball games actually is pretty good. I mean, it's like left to right input, and I think that's better controllable than trying to play an FPS on a mobile.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
one of the simplistic games to play on it. And what's cool about it, there are some bonus stages in it, and it throws you back to, like, what could I put it? Like, it's like Asteroids is one of the games. It's like Asteroids.
Oh sure.
And then there's another game that's like
that's cool.
the Tiger Electronics when you got to dodge the cars. And like simple games, left and right, whatever you can do with left and right, they have a mini game in there about it.
That's
and
cool.
it's pretty cool. But it's fun. It's fun. Definitely gonna play. You know what's funny? Like it was recommended, and I already had it. I actually
You
had
already
it.
owned it?
You own the game already?
I actually had it in my games folder, and I said, "Holy shit,
That's hilarious.
it's the same game I already have." I did pick up this pinball
Yeah,
game.
that's awesome.
But I didn't remember even trying it. I played like maybe one time. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
But just the aesthetics of how it looks, I already was drawn to it. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Interesting.
He already owned it.
Wow, I must have read your mind then.
I already spent the $4.
It was fate.
That's a lot for an app, man. $4 is like a big time app.
Yeah.
I bought it, no
Anything
problem.
over $1 is like
Mario Run is $10.
Nah, I didn't buy that.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
I didn't buy that.
That's breaking the bank right there.
Nope.
Right.
Played the first 3 stages of that.
It's not a bad game, but yeah, $10 is rough.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem's free.
$1.
I never mess with that Fire Emblem. They got the big ass heads. I'm not doing
It's a
that.
simplistic form of the ones on the consoles. It's
Listen,
not.
without that game, they wouldn't have made it for the Switch. So you better thank that game.
Well, I'm not downloading it.
I know, but you better thank.
They
That's
should
the
call
reason.
it. They should have called it Super Mario Parkour.
yeah, right.
Probably should have.
Should have changed the design, look cooler,
Yeah.
That'll be the
more
sequel.
Assassin's Creed like. Imagine Mario.
Mario's in shape now. He doesn't have that belly.
That's what they would have done if it was by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They would have said, "Forget
With
the
a hood,
Mario
with a
thing.
hood.
Let's change this whole thing."
Suspenders with a hood.
Ew, man.
Shave the mustache.
Terrible.
Shave the mustache. What?
Who else played it?
Chalk.
Well, I played some Puzzle Fighter.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
360?
Workout.
Throwback.
Yeah, throwback.
Nice.
super fun. I play it on expert. It's dope. I love it.
I miss the explosion when you win.
Yeah.
You know, when you break all the crystals and it's like
You ain't no expert.
That's true. That's
You unlock the
you get that dirty look. He's
you
like-
unlock the Kuma and all that.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Akuma.
I tried playing with Dan just for kicks.
Not happening.
Yes,
And
I do that
it was
too.
so funny. Like the whole screen is just red, and that one. All you need
Yeah.
is that.
Oh, you just need one. It's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Explosion. It's crazy.
That's cheap. You can't play it.
Yeah, for people out there that don't know, Dan is the worst character in the game. He's the comic relief, and you have to match the colors to.
He just brings one color.
It's
down.
been he just drops
Just
red.
his counter block color is the same
It's
color.
like purposely a
so
mess
it's,
up.
it's oh man,
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yep, they make him a joke.
yeah.
Yep.
And I'm 2 fights away from ranking up in Dragon Ball.
Ooh,
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I should have
Supreme
ranked up.
Saiyan?
Huh?
Supreme Saiyan?
Nah, I'm going.
Do they have
Majin after that?
Majin.
Supreme Saiyan. There's no Supreme.
He just
Saiyan.
he's
That's the
adding
next.
things.
That's the next game.
No, there's Super
Supreme
Saiyan God.
Saiyan?
There's Super
That's the
Saiyan
next
Blue,
game. You know it's coming.
But yeah,
Supreme.
It's like
That's all?
yeah, that's all.
All right. Over here.
What did I play? I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I beat Bloodstained finally, Ritual of the Night.
Yep. You mentioned.
Yeah.
I did mention it? Okay,
Think
so I
so.
don't have to say anything about it. A lot of Smash Brothers I've been playing. I played probably 4 hours like a couple nights ago. Got 4 characters to the 7 mils. They're all close to elite, very, very close. But you know what's messed up? When you hit the 7 mils, you lose one, you win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Win. It's a nightmare, and it's always by the last hit.
Yeah.
You win by the last hit, and they win by the last hit, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, you lose
Anyone
two
in the
more.
sevens, they're
Then you lose 2, and you're like, all right, I'm done.
yeah. Those are the best players. The ones in the sevens.
But I still don't understand how Terry Bogard is like one of my top characters. I still don't get it.
It just fits
He's
your
got
playstyle,
some good moves.
probably.
Yeah,
He's got good moves.
yeah. A lot of like the like I do a lot of fakes, especially like with Marth and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I use those like same kind of timing fakes with Terry, and it just translates very well, and it throws people off a lot. So. Who knows? Maybe I'll use that for Sunday. I don't know. Maybe I'll use Terry. But I've been playing definitely a lot of that, and I just started Horizon Zero Dawn
Late.
the other day.
You're late.
Well, I gotta like. I'm very picky with my main characters. If I'm not feeling the main character, then I'm like, all right, I'll do it another time. And then if I, like, especially with Sony, I very late with a lot of their main titles, like God of War. I was late
You
with.
end up liking them though.
No, they're all good. No, they're awesome titles. But I decided to
Talking about
start.
their characters though.
I mean, Kratos is cool, but I'm not like the crazy Kratos fan like a lot of people are. I think Kratos is cool.
If Kratos had long flowing blonde hair,
Then maybe I'd be like, all right,
flowing
he's got to
blonde
have the
hair.
blonde that's flying in the wind. No, I was kidding.
he did have one character skin that had hair. It was weird.
In what?
In part 3, when he had like black hair or something, it was weird. He had black. He was painted black
What
and
in the
red.
heck was that?
He had hair.
Oh, yeah.
He had hair. It was weird.
Yes.
It must have been a while because I don't remember.
Oh, that was that.
After you beat it, they give you that.
Oh, that
skin.
was
Oh,
weird. It was like locked out of my brain until you brought it up.
yeah, same.
But Horizon's dope, man. I played 2.5 hours so far. I guess that's like when it officially starts, like the game starts, and it's cool. The mechanics are cool. I can mess with it. I like the strategy elements of the game on how you like take out the robots and
The way you
stuff.
fight the enemies all different.
I like that. I enjoy that. Those kind of mechanics in games like that. I'll be playing for a hot minute. So yeah, definitely looking forward to playing that a little bit more. But that's it. Just Smash Brothers and that right now. I'm sticking to 2. I'm gonna do my best to stick to 2 games for now. I don't want to fall into the 3-game trap.
You're not the only one, man.
You know?
You're not the only one.
What are your 2?
My 2 games. Obviously, you guys
Tetris,
know.
Tetris.
Yeah, well,
Two Tetris games.
Tetris Tuesdays, man.
Tetris
Tetris Tuesdays. I played Tetris Ultimate. It's one of
What time is Tetris Tuesdays?
857, man.
857.
Which didn't start at 857. Had some
Technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
he was there to see that shit. I was like, oh, can't get. I'm like, oh wait, it's on private. I'm not streaming.
Yeah,
Oh,
your live was on private.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's not good.
It was like for a hot
Supposed to be.
15 minutes I was recording, and I'm like, oh great.
It starts
I'm
at
not-
around 8.
Around 857.
Around
there.
857.
It should be like
That's right.
857-ish.
Yeah,
Maybe 9.
maybe ish.
Catch
Yeah.
Tetris Tuesdays at 857-ish.
Ish.
I like that.
That's pretty
857-ish.
ish.
Around there.
On a
That's
Tuesday.
funny.
But Tetris Ultimate is the toughest freaking.
That looked
Tetris game.
like a nightmare.
Holy crap! I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. The controls are awesome. The game, all the game modes they have is awesome. the fastest Tetris game that's out there.
That soundtrack,
I still haven't beaten it. Gotten to the Grandmaster level, which is you have to get past level 28 speed.
Grandmaster.
It's a half a second. The pieces move a half a second. That's how fast it moves. You have to be on point. If you mess up just a little bit, the closest I got was like level 27, and I was almost there. I was in the zone, and I fucked up, and I never got close.
28 is the highest?
It's the high. Yeah, well, it goes higher than that, but
Once
it's,
you get to 28,
it's
it's
impossible.
You know what would help
I don't
you?
think they program it so that
You got
get
so
faster.
distracted by the bad music. Maybe if we had Daniel
yeah.
take over and make the music for the damn game, it'd be a lot better, you know?
Well, I'm glad you said that because I played, what was it, like a good 30 minutes into the game. And this game is awesome, but the music in the game sucks. It's boring. I was like going to sleep like halfway
It's
through.
very, yeah, I don't know.
It's too.
So you think they wanted to make it so that it calms you?
That's
while
what
you
I
play?
think the idea was, but like
It
have some
backfired.
variety at least. If you're gonna do that,
Just one song?
it's literally the same track. It's the same track.
Oh my God.
Is it digital? Is it a digital download?
It's a digital version, yeah.
Okay.
It's only available digitally on
Jeez.
See,
PS4.
Tetris Effect had some dope ass tracks on it.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and
really?
the visuals were insane.
I went
Yeah.
from
You know-
Tetris Effect last week
To going to sleep.
to going to this one, and it was just like, this
Well,
is terrible.
in a
Maybe
game
that's
like
part of the
that,
challenge.
in a game like Tetris, the music costs the most if you're developing
Yeah.
for it. 'Cause
I
the
bet,
game
yeah.
is very simple.
Yeah.
Yes,
So they're paying the most money to get those tracks.
yeah, it makes sense.
So they're like, listen, I made this myself.
Yeah, yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, the second game I played to cleanse the palate of bad music, it was Wipeout 2048.
Oh,
I
nice.
haven't played that in a long time, and that was awesome.
2048 is for
The Vita, but
Vita?
it was a
a
remastered.
remake.
I played the remastered one for PS4.
PS3, PS4.
Yeah, it has all of them. All the
It does not.
well,
That's why I'm mad. It doesn't have
well,
Wipeout 1.
Yeah, well,
The best music. It doesn't have Wipeout. That's why I didn't get that one. Everybody thinks
wouldn't say
XL.
it's the
Everybody thinks
best.
XL.
I wouldn't
Everybody
say-
thinks XL is the best for music.
I liked XL, man.
No, it doesn't. I'm not saying it's not
I
bad
liked
music, but I just like part one.
Well,
Forward music.
I like
It's
what
funny
it
when
had.
you said Wipeout. I keep thinking about surf music.
Right? Seriously. Like,
Yeah, the Beach Boys.
No, 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 no.
Nah, these are flying cars, man. Flying cars.
I know, but it's so funny when they say, "Oh, the music is like Wipeout." Okay, beach.
That's good too. As you played Wipeout with Wipeout.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Oh my God.
I used to put my own tracks in it because you could take the disc
Yes.
out and put
I
the
missed
put a
that
CD in.
feature,
Yeah.
man.
But that was on PlayStation.
I know, but like that feature's
Well,
got to come back,
Xbox
man.
Xbox 360 had that
360
feature
can do
also.
it.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, my soundtracks were fire.
Yeah, all right.
Dude, remember Wolverine?
Yes, I remember.
Don't make me throw this
I
bottle at you.
remember.
Google those, man.
I
That shit
know.
was fire.
I know,
That was
I
fire.
know the track.
Nah, the Phil Collins, man.
Oh, Phil Collins, Air of the Night, while
of the
playing
Night.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah,
Assassin's Creed
yeah.
Air of the Night.
Yep, when you're
Awesome.
creeping up trying to stab someone,
Nah,
and you gotta wait for the beat to drop, and then you kill the guy.
I would rather play.
Yep, hell yeah.
I'd rather play You Can't Touch This during that.
Hell, man, you,
been waiting for this moment all my life.
Wasn't that a commercial for
Wow,
something?
Lord. Yeah, kill it.
exactly.
Perfect.
There's no feeling like it. I'm
Jumps off
telling
a
you.
rooftop.
No, that was one of the highlights of Xbox 360.
Oh, I
Yeah,
fucking
man.
love
It
that.
was, man.
Now you gotta go
One
on
sounds like-
Spotify. I think you gotta do.
I don't
Yeah, it
like
sucks.
it.
It's
Because
horrible.
it doesn't integrate itself in like the other one.
On the
No.
Xbox, it wasn't too bad because I did it for State of Decay 2. I took
Yeah.
Walking Dead songs and put them in
Well, in
there.
a game like that, you can just play whatever.
Yeah, yeah, which is great, but
But when they do stages and when something's happening,
Exactly.
they change it. That'd
Yeah.
be dope.
Yeah.
Sucks that they don't do it because they got to get greedy
I
and
know.
put it on Spotify.
I know.
True.
And you got to get a Spotify Premium. Then you got to make a playlist.
Yep.
Nah, I'm
It's
good.
annoying.
And I'm
It's
spending $40
Yeah.
a month for what?
annoying. It's $14 for nothing.
Good on that.
How about you, Daniel? What have you been playing, man?
Me, well, I became like a Nintendo Switch owner just a few months ago.
yes,
So of course I went and
yes.
bought a spree of games I've never had access to, like the indie game scene. So one game I really like right now, it's My Friend Pedro.
Yes.
That's an awesome
Awesome,
game. Love the
awesome.
soundtrack.
I really dig Deadpool mixed with John
Yes.
Wick. And
What a
that's the
game.
for me,
Yes. So funny story,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I really like the crazy stunts you can do, like kick up a frying pan and just shoot them and just
Oh,
kill
it's
everybody with
brilliant.
ricochet, you know?
The
Awesome.
skateboard thing happening.
But then I started to notice that the game started kind of like reinvent or like recycle the certain sections, and you're jumping through the same things. Like a lot of repetitive stuff in it. But the first initial 5 stages are really, really cool. I really like that. And then I bought the Capcom. In Japan, the version is called Belt Action Collection. So a lot of Final Fight.
The beat 'em ups.
And yeah, but I was playing that because I was hoping that the online capability of the thing would be cool, like great netcode. And yes, it really is cool to have another guy jumping in with you in Final Fight. But I only ended up with asshole players who keep punching in the face all the time. They don't care. Like, I'm just gonna take your points away. It's like,
Oh my god.
so I ended up punching him in the face all the time through 5 levels. So like, get
So
away
your
from
biggest
me.
opponent was your
And
co-op.
the funny thing is, the guy still wants to be friends on the on Switch. It's like, no, I'm not gonna play with you.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, that was irritating, but really, really fun. And yeah, I just have to add one extra game. I also love driving, and I bought Grid Autosport a few months back, and they said it's going to have online multiplayer. But it was like just 2 or 3 days ago they implemented the online thing. So yesterday I was racing with up to 8 players. It was fantastic.
Sweet.
So I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the games I've been playing for a while.
Not bad.
Nice.
Mortal Kombat, obviously. Yes, the update also. I mean, I met Roger Wilgett, who wrote the music for Mortal Kombat. Wilbert, yeah, he's really awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Mortal Kombat 11 is awesome. Great game. Great. Very deep.
I
Very
still remember Mortal Kombat 1's music. I can't remember any of the new music.
Damn.
I just remember
New music's good.
Amazing story, amazing sequences, the gameplay. I just have a lot of fun with. Like now, they bring up the best parts of my movies I grew up as a child. Oh, the Terminator versus RoboCop. Holy shit!
That's crazy.
The pop culture references now.
I
That's
haven't used
no
them yet,
problem.
but yeah, he looks awesome.
But they went crazy with the
Yeah.
horror ones before on the other one. 10?
That's the one that I had.
They
at
did the
the time.
aliens versus Predator and all that.
Freddy Krueger.
And Freddy Krueger and
Right.
Jason. Yeah, that was dope too.
It was cool, man.
But yeah, everyone wants to be RoboCop versus Terminator. Come on, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Drop it.
In fact, you can call out Ed 209. That's all you need.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
blast. Do the scene again. Just shoot the hell out of somebody. That was still one of the
He
most
does do
iconic
that.
Dead or
scenes.
alive,
He
you're
does
coming with me.
Yeah,
massive
yeah,
shot.
He does do that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. What a fatality.
And they even do the.
Yeah, that's the
just
best
like in the
fatality in a movie. That's crazy. And we
wanna-
saw that when we were like
Yeah,
7
no.
years
I
old.
want to think crying like a baby though.
Yeah.
Oh, like
that-
crying like a pig. When he fell, sounds like a pig.
Oh, yeah. Ed 209. That's right.
Yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was on
Oh,
his back.
Phil Tippett was a genius.
It's terrible CG. Don't ever change that part.
That sound effect didn't match. I'm like, wait, why is he sound,
Plus, it was weird.
why is he
CG.
squealing like that?
It's one of the dopest looking robots, though.
It was
He is
cool.
still a dope looking robot.
No, he's cool.
It
He
was
held
cool.
up. He held
Yeah.
up.
The robot, I think, was inspired by Robotech
Yes.
or
Yeah,
Macross when they did
Makes
that.
sense
So,
now. Robotech is dope.
yeah, so Phil Tippett was a huge fan of that. And yeah, I really dig the Ed 209. But when I was a kid, I was fucking horrified watching that film.
Yeah, that was.
You weren't alone,
But
man.
then,
We shouldn't have been able. That was
Yeah.
like what PG-13. It wasn't even R.
I think
was-
everyone
yeah.
collectively should not have seen that movie
That was-
when we saw that movie.
That was
Did we,
before the
did we
rating
sneak
system.
into that? Did we sneak into that theater?
You saw it in the theater?
No,
What?
I remember seeing
I didn't
it.
see it in the theater.
oh, what?
I saw it in the
that. You were young.
I must have been.
You
young.
we
didn't go
were
to the
very
theater.
young.
Yeah, I remember
I
seeing
saw it in the theater with
You
my
saw that
mom.
on a VHS.
But
Yo, my mom loves action movies, bro.
Yeah, but
Loves
that
them.
sounds like
I
child
saw
abuse.
Lethal
ever
Whipping.
seen RoboCop, the British cut of RoboCop? Have you seen it?
Oh, is it different?
BBC version of the RoboCop cut is so hilarious. It's like,
BBC version. I gotta see
like
that.
in the opening scene, like the robbery goes wrong, right? And then Claire spotted in the car and said, "Bobby, can you fly?" You know, like, "Can you fly, Bobby?" And then they just cut Bobby's on the windshield of the car. You don't see a full nose. Like, what? Like every bullet was censored. It was always off-screen
Oh, that's
shooting.
terrible.
Not
I gotta
for
watch
this
that.
movie.
I gotta
No,
watch this.
nothing. I don't understand, but the UK has some really strange law when it comes to nunchakus in fighting
Yes.
games. They're like, no, we cannot have
Yeah.
that.
That's weird
Hey,
censorship.
Soul,
Well-
Soul Calibur. That's not happening.
Because you can make
For one thing,
nunchucks.
it's in
Kill people.
What's that?
You can make nunchucks. That's what.
Oh well.
And you could be, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
hooligans. That as like, oh, if I can play this game and study techniques, well,
Michelangelo is
I'll be an
devastated.
assassin.
Yes.
He's a killer
I'll be
turtle.
an assassin.
He's a killer turtle.
What about the UK and their like distaste for the word ninja?
Yeah,
For,
same
like
thing.
because it's killing.
Teenage
Because
Mutant-
it's an assassin.
hero turtles.
They couldn't call them assassin turtles either.
That's another weird one. Yeah.
That actually spoiled entire Europe. So Ninja Turtles was always called Hero
Yeah,
Turtles over
yeah.
here. Yeah.
So I
So-
just learned that like not too long ago. I didn't know that.
So bizarre.
We just want to be politically correct.
What's wrong with ninjas? They're fine. They're cool.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
ninjas.
It's nothing different than from being an agent. I mean, that's what they were, infiltrators. And ninjas does not look like ninja like we believe ninpo would be. It's more like ordinary guys blending in with the environment, like as a gardener or something like, that. You know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And because of this pandemic, everyone's got the masks looking like ninjas. So
Yep.
We're all
Perfect
ninjas.
time to move to the news. every time Kev kills the
that's
conversation,
it.
that's when you move on.
That's the segue right there,
Yep.
man.
Kept saying we're all ninjas.
we're all ninjas.
We're all ninjas.
All
Great.
ninjas.
All right.
That's what we get out of this podcast. all ninjas.
It's the worst.
It's so deep.
I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah, we're all ninjas. That's,
I hated wearing the
that's-
mask
yeah.
until just now.
Just now, yeah.
If you really think about it, we're all ninjas.
Hiya.
No, that was even. Why did you add to
He
it?
said hiya.
No, that's karate, man.
No.
It's totally different.
Oh my god.
Ninjas are silent.
I
Yes.
apologize
Oh dear.
to everyone.
Oh man.
Ninja smart, harder.
All right, let's get to the news. Square Enix details vendors, cosmetics, and battle pass system in Marvel's Avengers. How do you guys feel about what they're trying to do with this game? Because apparently, vendors come in two varieties, so gear and cosmetic. So the gear is stuff in the game that you get with in-game currency, and the cosmetics are things that you have to pay real money for. It doesn't impact the game, but it changes your outfits and stuff like that. And I don't like it. Me personally, I don't like that it's in there because I think one of the main reasons for giving a game replayability is the costumes. And
Yeah.
like, you know how in Spider-Man, the exclusive one for PS4, you would play through it and try and get all the costumes. Even after you beat it or whatever, you say, oh, I didn't get this costume. I got to get this costume.
Right.
Right.
And it gives you a reason to play. There's no reason to, oh, I need this costume for $2 or however much it costs. That doesn't make me want to play the game more. And the fact that your upgrades in the game don't change how you look, and you had the ability to change how you look, and you want to make us pay for it, I'm not a fan of that.
It always gives me a bad taste in my mouth whenever any game has, oh, you got to pay for costumes. It's the dumbest thing to pay for. Like if you think about it, like why?
Because they don't want to have you pay for something that's going to impact the game, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing. Cosmetics is the only
It's
thing.
just so
not
stupid.
gonna
It's just so
change it.
dumb to me.
Yeah.
How about beat the game and you get a costume? Each time you beat a
No,
game, you
can
get a
still- You
costume.
can still unlock costumes. It's just that I guess they have exclusive ones that
It's
you
so
would have to
it's
pay
so
for.
dumb. I always hate that. I always have hated it. I never will co-sign on stuff like that.
But they have a marketplace that sells the stuff, and it's outfits, emotes, takedowns, and nameplates. So takedowns, that's impacting the game. That's like a new fatality.
Oh, you got to pay for that.
and you got to pay for that.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Really?
It sucks.
I thought we could just earn it. That's fucking
Yeah,
awful. That's oh.
If they want you to play the game, put it in the game, give you incentive to play the game.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then when you get it, that's your congratulations, you did something cool. Now here's what you got. I don't be like, oh yeah, here's $20. Give me all the stuff you
I
have
got to
there.
pay for a takedown. Come
It's not. That's not cool.
Dude.
I don't
Yeah, it's
think
not cool.
because the
they don't
game's
need
already
to-
$70.
They don't
pretty
need to
much.
monetize it like that. They don't need to. I know every game they want to monetize every which way possible, but that's a bad way to do it, especially when it's something like a Marvel game and you know it's for the kids and for
And
families.
you know damn well they're going to fork the money over for that shit because it's Avengers. Everyone loves everyone loves Marvel. Everyone loves the characters, all of them. And the ones that aren't even announced yet, people are going to pay for it, and they know that, and they're banking off of that. And that's sleazy to me.
It
I
only
hate
makes
that, man.
sense to me. It only makes sense if it's a free-to-play game where you don't pay anything.
That makes
to play,
more
play it.
sense.
If the game was $30 and you wanted me to spend a little extra to get up to $60,
Fine.
whatever.
That's fine
Fine.
too. That's fine too. But if
But
it's a
full
free
price
game,
and it already has a system in it
Right.
to spend fake money. So you said, okay,
Right.
let me put this in here to spend fake money, which is like difficult to understand because you have like, what is it? It's called units, and they have a card-based system in it, and you trade things for items. And I'm like, that's a little overly complicated.
didn't Battlefront do something like that? Battlefront 2? Remember they?
Well, loot boxes is a total different thing, but hopefully like
They
that
made
had
it. They
impact.
made it so that if you wanted to earn it, it was like impossible. Like they made.
Well, they did in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, the points were like,
Yeah.
if
Now
you were
it's
trying to
better,
unlock
though.
Vader,
Right.
it was
Now
like
it's better.
100,000.
Or
But yeah,
you
they
could
fixed
pay-
it because
or
everyone
you
was
could pay,
paying.
X amount of money.
Yeah.
And you can unlock. Like, come on, man.
You could throw in $50 instead of earning 100,000 fake
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
No, stop it.
That's
Stop
like
it.
rigging the system.
But
Stop
at
it.
least they give you the ability to pay for it. But if you didn't want to pay for it, you could play the game. And in Battlefront, it took a long time.
But in
But
this,
they skewed it,
separating
though.
they're separate. They keep
And
it
this is
separate now,
separating it,
which is
because-
messed up.
If they did offer you, okay, if you did such and such units, you can get this too. Fine. That's what they did in Street Fighter. You don't have to
Right.
buy your characters. You can build up. Granted, it's super slow, but you can
Yeah.
build up and get your character with points in the game. Or you can throw down $5 and be like, I got a new character. But they separated completely. You cannot do it, and that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
And it's a
Yeah.
bad. It's like an asterisk next to a game that looks so good and promising, and it plays well from what everyone's saying. It looks really awesome, and it just puts a bad taste in your mouth with something that looks so awesome.
Listen, I don't have to change costumes.
Yeah.
I don't have to. I'm not gonna buy
I
it.
always enjoy
I'm not
it,
going to buy
No,
the
it'll be
skins.
cooler if I can play it
but
more
I'm not
and get
spending
it.
money out of my pocket for a costume.
No.
Come on, man.
Doesn't
Yeah, I
make
mean,
sense, man.
it's similar to like what they did with Gears. Like you can earn almost everything, but then they have some exclusive suits some exclusive skins that you have to pay for.
Right.
But the variety that they have that you can earn is pretty massive, so you're not missing out on the other ones.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I hope they do that. That's what they're doing here.
Nope.
So they have a massive variety.
Well,
of
if they get a
costumes.
backlash, like how Battlefront, if they get a
Yeah.
backlash for it, they'll change it up. They'll
Yeah.
change it up. But like
But
right
why
now,
wouldn't you want to buy a nameplate? Why wouldn't you want to be that guy with the nameplate? the $1,000 nameplate with diamonds on it. Like that's the one
The
that
tool
only
bag.
you have it.
The tool
Only
bag
one
that-
guy will have that one.
No, it has to say my name if I'm gonna buy a nameplate.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan?
Well, for me, I mean, I think it's outrageous that you have to pay for a new move. Why couldn't that just be XP? Like you earn that move, and that's it. Like that was the simplest way to level up a character in any games. Like, oh, you learned something new. Boom, here's the combination. I mean, was it Batman Arkham Knight? You got new moves during the story, like new tools, new gadgets, and your arsenal increased, your moveset increased. That's like that would be a great, like, normal way to upgrade your skills. But to pay, nuh-uh. As you said, like having people who buy DLC and items in a versus fighting game, that just becomes so fucking unfair already if it impacts the gameplay. So I'm actually kind of glad that, I mean, the suits and stuff is optional. You don't really have to buy it, and it doesn't add anything new. So I was like, I'm not going to buy that. But a move? No way. I agree with you guys. It's just, you should earn it in game. Case
Yeah,
closed.
that's the point of playing a game. You earn techniques. You earn, stuff for your character.
And Batman Arkham, you didn't buy your costumes, did you? They were just downloadable.
you earned them.
Some of them.
Did you have to buy them?
You get some,
They had
right?
packs.
Stars?
Yeah, because the
They
thing
had
is,
some.
like, they had for Batman Arkham Knight, they had
You had some outfits.
They
Though.
had you could unlock some outfits, and then there were season passes.
Season
was
pass.
gonna
It was
say
part
this.
of the
Yeah.
challenge stages. The
challenge stages, and they had extensions of the story, and you got
But
you
you
got
had suits in
Batmobile
that.
skins and bat suits with it.
See,
Okay,
this makes
okay.
more sense
But you
with
can
the way
still unlock
Batman
it,
did it,
though.
because they had the DLC where you have the challenge stages. They had
Yeah.
with costumes for the Batmobile, for your characters, and other stuff.
You get more than a costume.
Yeah, you get it. They had DLC running for like 6 months
Yeah.
worth of stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's worth it. The costumes were just a throw in.
Yeah.
Everything else, like the Batgirl's, whatever you have to play through with her,
Yeah, it's side
Nightwing's.
stories.
Yeah, separate little stories. That's fine.
But
That's fine, but-
complimentary to it, they said, "Here's your costume."
It was
too.
eventually-
Moves. It's like
Yeah.
I gotta pay for a move.
Yeah.
You bugging. You bugging.
Yeah.
Plus, they have new characters that are coming in. What are they going to do with those?
Yeah.
They said they're supposed to be free. Hopefully,
And I'll tell you
they
one
get
thing.
greedy though. They're going to get
And I'll tell you
greedy.
one thing. There'll be some backlash because
Yep.
once Black Panther is available, there'll be some backlash if they try to make some money off of that.
Oh,
I'll tell you that much. There's gonna
Yeah.
be some backlash for that. So they better be
Yeah.
smart with that because people are not gonna be feeling that.
Yeah.
At
They
all.
should have held
I
it
don't
back
think so.
and put them in.
Well, the
After
funny
this,
thing
they
is,
should have put them in for the
after
beginning.
before their last presentation, they had something about that. They said out of respect,
Yeah.
we had other footage we were gonna show, but
Oh,
we're
they're
not
gonna
gonna
hold
show
off.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and they put up his symbol, and then they showed the who was it, the Hawkeye girl, Bishop,
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
They showed her story thing instead.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously he's going to be in there. Doctor Strange, obviously he's probably going to be in there. But it's like, stop, don't milk us, please don't milk us.
Yeah.
It's the perfect game to do it.
It is. No, it is. It's the perfect sleazy recipe. You know.
So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Hopefully, it's as fun as it looks.
Because I do want it. I want to play it, but
coming soon.
It's
Coming soon.
you know, rub me
We'll be
the
playing
wrong way.
We'll be playing it
Yeah.
soon, but the extra content, who knows? All right. On to this next. Madden NFL 21 has one of the lowest user scores on Metacritic.
Why do we care?
So no one apparently
You know what's
cares
crazy?
now.
When they had,
no
when they
one.
had the what was it on the PS5 or whatever the reveal when they showed like the different games
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
and then they showed Madden. I'm like,
It's like some cinematic
they showed
nonsense.
some cinematic
like, all right,
thing,
yeah.
and I thought automatically, I'm like, this
Nah,
is
stop.
gonna be the same thing every
Well-
year. It's the same thing every year.
Usually Madden does well. It's never been like
It sells.
it's
well.
not Madden from like the early days where that was like the pinnacle of football games. Now it's the only thing for football games because they've had the license for so long that this is why.
It's gonna sell well because by default.
Well, this is why they shouldn't have exclusivity on the license for any sports titles because they get complacent. They're like, we don't have to do anything.
Nope.
People buy us regardless. And this is the first time that they said, "Oh, this is we really messed up and didn't do anything." They kept glitches. This is exactly what happened to WWE.
Yep.
2K.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened.
Uh-huh.
They got too comfortable. They said, "Oh, we don't even want to program anything or fix it or anything. We'll just bring it back out and leave it be." So the PC version has a user score as of this article, which was where was it from? From PCGamer.com. So this article, the score for the PC version is 1.2
Out of what? Out of 10?
out of 10.
Oh, sweet.
Out of 10. And
Nice.
Oh,
and the
really?
PS4 had a score of 0.4 from the users.
That's more fair.
But 0.4
The people have spoken.
out of 10. They had enough of Madden.
Oh
Like
my
they
God.
might as well not even
Furious.
released it.
Good.
Not
good.
even released
I'm
it.
glad that
You could have released a picture or the logo, and it would have a higher rating than 0.4.
I haven't played a football game since NFL 2K on Dreamcast.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been a minute.
I
Game
haven't
Day.
cared to.
Game Day was good, but they can't make a Game Day now. But
So-
the game before that had the record was Warcraft 3 Reforged. So that had a 0.5. But that was because, they just hated it. But Madden?
It took the-
I just saw it.
Pardon the pun. Pardon the pun. But I think EA just dropped the balls.
Yes, they fumbled the hell out of this.
That is fumbled.
Yeah, I mean, the big fiasco with the FIFA and the loot boxes and all the surprise mechanics, if that bleeds over into, of course, I'm not an American football fan, but if they're trying to be money hungry and grubby on that thing, that's not going to be any good for them either. So
I think a game about
I think they lost the essence of what is a sports
Absolutely.
game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all about money. They
I
don't
think-
care.
I think a game about opening a loot box would have gotten a higher score. than
Yeah.
that. It would have been more fun.
Definitely.
What do I get? What do I get
I don't
here?
know what it is.
More than 0.4.
A slot machine.
Was the
games.
gameplay that bad, or is just a revolt
I
because
just think
it's-
people are just so angry.
No, that's the-
about how
They
much
re-released,
they can
they
do.
re-released
No,
the
it's-
same shit
It's the problem of a
Slightly
yearly
better graphics.
It's the problem of a yearly release.
and glitches.
Well, this
Well,
is
it's
the
the
thing.
problem of a yearly release because you have a time limit. You have to release this game at a certain time. You got a studio rushing to get this game out. All right, there's glitches. We got a month left. Oh shoot,
This
fuck
the-
it, bring it out.
This is the thing.
So it
I'm
happens.
curious. I'm curious as to how different the next generation games are going to be because whenever they're working on the next generation, they seem to either just not update the current generation and just leave it be, and that's probably why this is getting the backlash it is. The next generation version needs to be completely different and completely better. And maybe they put all their resources to that. That's all I can think of why they just said.
Well, the thing is with sports games, also, I'll throw wrestling in there also. Something dramatically has to change with the yearly releases like you were just mentioning because rosters change, right? Rosters change all the time.
People just want an update.
They want update, and you kind of have to like figure out what gameplay mechanic that everyone
It needs to work.
works.
Foundation.
And then you have to update that every year, like kind of like a season pass or something, because you can't just do a new game every
But
year.
they're greedy.
Yeah, that's the thing. That when you mix in greed with quality, it's like the quality is going to suffer.
They don't mix.
Yeah, it doesn't mix.
They don't mix.
Like back in the day when you have like Super Nintendo, you have your Royal Rumble game or whatever. Everyone's just trying to figure out how these wrestling games play. What do you like? What do you like? No Mercy? Do you like SmackDown or whatever? But like, there's so many wrestlers and entrances and play mechanics that you have to do. You can't do it every year. No. You cannot do it. Same thing with sports. People are traded, every single year. Baseball, football, basketball, different, the step back 3-pointer. There's moves that are, like the games are changing. So you kind of have to update the sports games rather than release a new one because it's not working. People are getting ripped off.
The only way they'll listen is if they don't buy. So I want to know if this review score has anything to do with how much it's going to sell this year.
I hope so.
That's the only way it'll change.
I hope
that's
it does.
because if people get like, oh, new Madden's out, I'll buy it.
Well,
I hate this Madden.
Some people who play Call of Duty and Madden only buy Call of Duty and Madden. It doesn't matter what it is. It's this year's.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care. They play it. They play it the same way they play the other ones. And if it plays like that one, they're fine with it.
But the thing is, if there's glitches, kind of like how the wrestling wrestling game, like, that's a good sign.
I'm looking forward to the memes.
Yeah, exactly. When the glitches happen, that's when you have to like the current company that's doing the 2K. Is it still 2K or is it Ukes?
They didn't say. Well, Ukes was doing it.
And they jumped
2K
out.
was publishing it.
Yeah.
So,
So now they're taking a year off, and they said we are doing everything over.
they shouldn't make one for this system anymore.
No.
Move it.
Moving on to new
Move
systems.
it.
Yeah, and they're asking everyone who liked SmackDown and everyone who liked No Mercy, because those are the funnest games that everyone liked.
The best.
That's what you have to do. What was the funnest games of that? Okay, let's stick to that. That's what everyone likes. All right, Lana, let's build on that and make everybody happy.
It'll be nothing like it.
Yeah, and what they need to do, I completely agree with you. Just release a season pass.
You have to.
You have WWE 2K,
Update
and
the
here's the
roster.
2022 pass.
$39.99, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Right.
You got costumes, entrances,
Who's going to be disappointed
modes,
about that?
slight changes.
And
They'd
they'll
rather-
update, and they can update the wrestlers. They can update their ratings and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
They'd rather bring it out for 60 for 2 weeks and then drop it like a,
Exactly.
Drop it
And
to
rob us
$30.
blind, pretty much.
And get the backlash. And,
Or even better, just a patch. Release a patch.
A patch would be lovely. That would be great. But they're like, but we can't make money from a patch.
no.
I think their main problem, say with wrestling,
Yeah.
I think their main problem is having those characters still be available when they're not working for that company.
They gotta remove
They
That's
it.
the
have
only,
to find. There
that's the
have to
only
be a
problem.
policy where they can.
They have to yank them.
Yank them,
So they
yeah.
have to bring out
There
a new
has to
game
be,
that has
yeah.
total different rosters.
There'll be a patch that has to
that has
remove
to bring them.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that? Though? Especially
you
if it's
have
your
a-
favorite
It's
character.
complicated.
Yeah.
It's a lot of complicated things that go into
Yeah.
it.
But for football, no, just bring out the patch.
Not unless the guy killed a woman, then you remove him from the game.
That's easy. They can patch that.
Yeah, you can patch that. you know?
Patch him out.
And it gets rid of them.
It should be easier for basketball and football than it is. But wrestling's a little complicated.
Right.
Wrestling is
Kill your
complicated.
person, we kill your sprite. You're out of the game. That's it. That's all you need. That's a good rule. It's a good rule.
You get drunk and you punch a woman, you're out of the game.
We make a cinematic of you getting punched by a woman, and then you're out of the game.
And then you're out.
I mean, technically, a game takes about between 2 to 4 years to develop, and even then, it's not even perfect. So I think they should still keep the engine, and the next update, next year will be just a better patch version of the game they've been working on that was not released correctly. I think that's how they should do it. But if they're not, just re-releasing, just change the logo and say it's a new game.
that's exactly
That was the thing that happened with FIFA 2020, I guess. There was actually FIFA 2019. All they did was just a roster update, and they still charged $60 and a season pass.
That's crazy.
for it. So,
That's crazy.
Like, yeah.
That's insane.
And people bought it.
I remember the last Madden they did for Super Nintendo. They just made everyone black. Everyone. Just every character in there was just black. I was like, that's
John
the update?
Elway.
That's the
Wow.
update?
That was the update.
Troy
Everyone just
Aikman.
Dark black. And I was like, wait, everyone?
Everyone's black. How's everyone black?
Everyone.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense since Troy Aikman does look like Jay-Z.
He doesn't.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
All right.
On to the next news.
Yes. Thank you.
Sony is offering limited PS5 pre-orders directly from its website.
You mean directly?
Directly.
Directly.
If you're reading it.
If you're reading it, it says
Oh,
directly. Oh, I've been dying for a spelling error for a long
Oh,
time.
how does it say it on the website?
Not that way. But I read it correctly.
Wow.
But directly from the website. So they didn't. So this is the thing. Sony still hasn't announced a date. They still haven't released a price. They have released a they released a website that has you sign up for your pre-orders to be told when the pre-orders are going to happen. And they said you're not positively going to get the system if you sign up for this. So it's still a first come first serve. And you're not guaranteed the system. So hopefully you're on this page because it's a limited number, because obviously we are in the pandemic and we don't know how many systems they can make, and it's going to be a little bit of the system. So instead, how do you guys feel about this? Do you think they should push this back? All the systems. You think they should push it back to spring?
Yes.
And make it so that everyone can buy this when they, everyone can get it.
Everything
Or-
push it all back.
Push
Or
everything, delay everything, man.
Or
People
do you
out of
think they
jobs.
should listen? Or do you think they should bring out 1 million for the world, and first come first serve? You get those, and you can play it until they actually have it ready.
Delay.
No.
Delay.
Delay.
I'm all support
Delay.
for delay right
Delay.
now.
Because-
Delay everything.
You're gonna get
Delay
these
it.
pieces of garbage who's gonna find a way to buy like 5 systems.
Well, no, they-
and hawk them on.
Well,
eBay.
that's the reason for this, though. I do give them credit for this, at least buying it straight from Sony,
They're
and you can only get one system,
right.
one system of one of each. Not sure if
one-
you can't
no.
get the digital. It's only one per address. So you have to, they'll just make a bunch of addresses and get 10 and then sell them for, people are scummy. People are scummy, they'll
People
still do it.
sleaze,
They'll still
man.
do it.
I'll give you the money. Just
But
get the
this particular one is only for the U.S., this pre-order.
right.
So if you have it from another country, you have to cancel your order because you can't. They're not doing it. It's only for the U.S. So I don't know if they'll have different ones in other countries, just so they have this such many in U.S. and this such many in Europe and Japan. So maybe I can assume that that's what they have to be doing, because you can't just say everyone in the U.S. gets one, but Japan and Europe gotta wait. Hold
Wow.
on. So I think they're gonna have 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000, whatever it is. It's gonna be sold out in the first minute. So hopefully you got your trigger fingers ready for when you get that email. 'Cause it's gonna be
Man,
a
just
massacre.
listen,
it's gonna
delay
be
it.
it's gonna be a
Just
disaster.
delay
Just
it.
delay it.
Gonna be a
pre-order
disaster.
of the pre-order.
This is like a marketing nightmare for them. I can imagine them.
I hope we got
being like-
1,000 to get it off eBay, because that's where they're gonna be.
It's a marketing nightmare for them. Because
Even if I legitly wanted it, and I said, yeah, let me get it the first day. After I see what's going on with it, I'm like, yo,
Wait.
you know what? I'm
I'd
gonna
rather
put
wait.
this up. I'm gonna put this up online. I'm not even a scumbag. I'm gonna put it up online because it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't need it. You don't need it right away.
No.
There's nothing. All the games being pushed back. So
Everything's
what are you
being
gonna play
delayed.
on it?
It's gonna be at least 500.
Yeah.
At least 500.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see it less than that. You can wait.
That in Xbox is gonna be at least 500. I don't see it making any sense for it
gotta
to be
wait.
that way.
And a quick news quip that was dropped yesterday. Ubisoft said, it's Ubisoft. They drop secrets all day. They can't not keep a secret. So if this was something they weren't supposed to say, they said it, and it got ripped offline. They said that the PlayStation will not be compatible with PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, or PlayStation 1 games. And whether that be, it might not be true, but that's what they're going by. And for the most part, that's what I heard anyway. Sony never said that it can do that. They said it will play PS4. That's all I heard from Sony.
Right.
That's all I heard from Sony. So everybody's like, how dare they not make it fully compatible with everything? I was like, they never
They don't
said
have
it.
to.
They
don't
never
have to.
said, they never officially said that it was going to do anything with all those titles. You assumed, the internet assumed, and if it's not true, then stop assuming. Wait until these companies tell you what they're doing and stop making it your own narrative, because when it's not true, everyone's up in arms about something that was never announced.
Well, even with emulation nowadays, they could just
1 and 2 they can for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean,
Yeah.
would I have liked it if it's if it's true and they don't? Would I have liked it if you could play PlayStation 1 disc and PlayStation 2 disc in it? Yes. Do I know that they can't play PS3 in it? Yes. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I want to play my PS1 and PS2 games in it.
Xbox is backwards compatible.
They said it was backwards compatible.
Well, they
With
have a lot of
360 and original.
Yes.
Oh shit.
They said that though.
PlayStation now has a lot of PS3 games.
They have it on PS Now.
Yeah, but
So they want you to buy it again.
exactly.
Like
so
now.
it's available. It's available.
So I can
Available
play.
now.
I can play brute force on the Xbox.
I don't know if that's
Brute
actually
force.
compatible,
Well-
but
Oh,
yes,
God.
probably.
Well, I heard from the grapevine that PlayStation 5, this will be their last hurrah before everything goes over to cloud gaming and stuff like that.
Seems
So, I mean, the possibility still arises. Let's make this a great console, and let's hope. Like as I wish, when we talked about this when we did our sound check, that it would be really nice if they could like include all the games from their past catalog. That's a good gift for you to be able to access the system again. That would be awesome. But if not, well, let's just hope it's a good product anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to do emulation, at least let you put the disc in for a key
Yeah.
and play the emulated game.
Yeah.
At least.
That'd
well,
be
they
cool.
have 2 versions available. So you have the disc version and the the all digital.
The hacked version.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, and this is like you said, it's going to be the last. It looks like it's going to be the last system before
All digital.
cloud.
You ever
gaming.
see that?
Cloud.
You ever see that video where they took the
But even
PS5 that grew legs and it started coming
yeah,
out? It turned into a robot. It's like, oh shit!
That's what they want.
Oh, man.
If anything, that's Google.
That's dangerous.
That's not PlayStation. That's
No,
Google.
but with the cloud gaming and the future is cloud gaming, and I'm okay with that because you will be able to play PS1, PS2.
But can you
PS3.
play them perfect? You gotta let me
with-
be able to play all of it perfect.
Yeah.
5G, man?
Yeah, if I can play a rhythm. Listen, if I can play a PlayStation 1 rhythm game without the disc being in the system,
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
5G, man.
That's all you gotta do.
That's all I gotta say. 5G.
If I can't play my rhythm
5G.
games and I can't play them because of the emulation being off by a millisecond, I can't do it. It sucks.
If Reggie Fils-Aimé says that he sees cloud gaming being the future of gaming,
10 years,
no, he said 5.
5 years.
Yeah,
He said
up to
5.
He
I
said
think it'll
5
be
years.
Man, he better get GameStop going.
Yeah.
He got a lot on his plate.
He's just a chairman, man.
He's in a chair.
He's in a chair.
He's in a chair, man.
Just
He's a
sitting there with his
chairman.
face. That's all.
Oh man.
He just wanted him to sit down.
He's in the chair.
Final thoughts.
That's pretty funny.
Anybody?
I have none.
So, Danny, what do you think of the pre-orders? Think it's a good idea?
Well, the pre-orders for me has always been like, I mean, I remember the first time I did anything that was pre-order, and I just realized, nothing was pretty much set up from the get-go. So it's like, you bought the Nintendo Wii. Actually, I got a lottery ticket for that, so I was one of the first people to own it in Japan. But there were like nothing really happening at the moment when the online store or network play or stuff like that. So it was still, if people buy it early, well, I still don't believe they're going to be able to access the full array of the system or the services. So it's just a wasted time and money on that. Probably overpriced too. So I agree with you guys. Just wait for the machine to be properly made and have the services working from the scratch. That's how I feel about it.
It'll be overpriced, and you'll be a beta tester. So
Exactly.
that's usually, I mean, that's what the first, that's what the first people do.
Every first
I'm
generation.
usually the guy who's doing it. I'm that guy.
And they're not paying you.
No,
he volunteers for that.
He volunteers.
and then you wait a year until it's ready.
Yeah.
Or they'll come out, they'll rush all these things, all these systems, and then it'll break. And you're like, damn, I wish I had some good quality materials, and everybody who wasn't holding them or hoarding them because there was no factories.
I have no problem waiting for either one of
Same.
these systems, but I'm just scared to see the first trailer, a real
Unless-
trailer for State of Decay 3. Then if
Unless-
it's like looking really good, I'm like, fuck.
The
I'm going to get hyped.
The only time I'm an early adopter is if there's a game that I have to have.
Or if
That's
they
like I have
hacked
to
it.
have it.
Or if they hacked it because
What?
it's early. Like the Vita. They fucked the Vita over.
No, they fucked the Vita over with the price,
PSP too?
the freaking price of the memory cards, man. That was
Usually the first generation systems
Yeah.
can be
that was
hacked, though.
ridiculous, man. The prices. I'm like, oh my
Yeah, there's nothing I've seen so far that's like I gotta buy the system for this. Even though
Not right away.
Spider-Man looks amazing, and I'm gonna get Spider-Man eventually, obviously. But I don't see anything for me right now to be like, I gotta have it. I don't care if it's $700. No, nope.
I could be like, Christmas, I need a gift. maybe at Christmas. But
I need a gift.
But not November.
No.
Maybe later.
No.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't seen any exclusives that make me say, yeah, let me purchase this $500.
Yeah, not yet.
They can
No.
wait.
I'm excited.
They
I
can
am
wait.
excited for the new generation.
I mean, they both look good. They look good, but no, I don't see none yet. None yet.
Yep.
I'm good on
Shine Force 3?
Yeah, I just hope to go back to the basics for the next generation. Like you buy a game for 60, everything should be in there. Anything else is optional. I think that's why I opted out from the PlayStation 4 generations. Like I just hate the DLC and loot boxes. Let's see if they can get the business model right for
Yeah,
once.
finally.
And,
The foundation.
At the very least.
That's why I like Evil Within 2, man. Everything's in the game.
Moving on.
All right.
The final bit of news.
So, all the best trailers and demos at Gamescom 2020. Let's talk about it, y'all. So, Gamescom was supposed to be like the E3 that wasn't. Because that got canceled this year.
Well, yeah.
right.
I mean, at first, my original thoughts for it being canceled was, okay, cool. Now we can get announcements all summer, and it'll be awesome because everybody still has their stuff they want to announce. They don't have to do it all in one day. How I feel about that now, and how important E3 really is, or an event like E3, it really does help to, give some people a platform to have all eyes on me, rather than some eyes over here, some eyes over here, some eyes over here. And you really get confused on to when this stuff is happening, and there's really no timeline now. That's why we have no prices or release dates for these systems, because they say we can wait until the day before, really. We'll just put it on Twitter and what's going to happen? It's fine. Rather than saying in June, we have to announce this price to get everybody hyped up for it, because this is the time we're supposed to do it.
Right.
Now everyone's waiting for each other, and there's no dates for anything.
Right.
And that's what's crazy about it. And same with games. You're like, all right, I know this game isn't, you don't have to say anything about it until it's ready.
Right.
Which is fine, but that's what Gamescom was supposed to be, I guess. But it really wasn't. It wasn't like an E3. It was just more like
It's a showcase.
it was a
It
showcase.
was really watered down.
It was like
it
a-
was
But they-
very
like a-
watered down.
They made it more like, I don't know why, but an award show.
Yeah.
Why was there any awards given out?
There was like two
At
awards.
Gamescom?
There was 2 awards given out, right? Or some random.
Best in show.
Yeah, I like.
Best in show and best system to come to like hype.
No, it was weird.
And it was weird was because the PlayStation wasn't even in it. The PS5 wasn't even in the system.
Yeah.
Amico was in it, and Xbox, and another system. Don't even remember. But the PlayStation wasn't in it, which was crazy.
Shout out to Tommy Tallarico, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, it should. That should definitely be in the hype. But
And you know what though? Kudos to
PlayStation
him.
wasn't in it though.
Kudos to Tommy for being transparent and letting everybody know, hey, yo,
Yeah.
the system's not ready. It's not going to be coming out in October.
He set a date.
But I'm going to give you information
And a
every
price.
month. And he said a date and a price. From the get-go, he said
Yeah.
a price and a date.
And he said those
That's
other
true.
guys don't have a price because they don't know when these systems are going to come
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
They don't. And
It's
they
true.
obviously they don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the highlights of it was good.
Yeah.
Gamescom was good. They hyped up some stuff. Best in the show would probably go to, for me, would probably be Ratchet and Clank
Yeah.
Rift Apart. I mean, they didn't show much new, but they showed in game.
Oh, that looks crazy.
And they show what they showed, but in game, and that's really what it's going to be. And a lot of these companies aren't really showing what's going to be in the game right now.
I think of any game that's being shown Ratchet and Clank, they show the most.
And it
That
looks
was awesome.
And it
good.
looks ready. Looks
And
ready
it
to go.
looks
It looks
good.
ready to go.
Yeah.
That's a game that looks ready to go.
Well, they announced you could play it in either
Yeah.
4K or 60 frames. I think they were showing.
Yeah.
Was that the 4K one or the 60? It looks smooth as hell. to me,
Yeah, it looked
so
really
It
good.
might have been the 60 they were
Really,
showing.
really look really
Looks
good.
freaking awesome.
They had some weird announcements in there too. So, how'd you guys feel about the Star Wars Sims expansion?
Oh,
I didn't. I don't understand because the Sims isn't like a story-driven game.
No.
So to have a story-driven like arc in it, when there's no story to be followed, I'm like, why?
I guess for the super fans,
Why?
for like the Star Wars super fans, they're
Even
probably excited
watching
about it.
Even watching, they were showing scenes of the movie. I'm like, this is The Sims.
There's
Yeah.
there's some things I just blocked out, and that was one of the things I blocked out.
seriously.
Like I said,
I
oh,
exactly the same thing. I wrote. I was taking notes through an entire video when I was watching. It's like, it says Lego Star Wars. No. Let's see here. The Sims Star Wars. Why?
That's
right.
that's the only thing you need to have. Like,
Question
I
mark.
didn't understand. I
Figure
didn't
it
care
out.
for it. And
Like, I understand people want to live out the lives of the Sims in a virtual world or whatever, but in a I guess
Yeah.
in a
make
Star
your-
Wars
Go to the
world,
bar, get your hands chopped off by a sailor. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
everyone will be living that same story in
Yeah.
your own unique way. I don't know why that would work.
It might work though.
just question.
I played
never
The
know.
Sims. I don't.
Yeah, but you didn't play Star Wars.
I know. There must be
saying
something
it's-
new. It must be something new.
It's just Star
But-
Wars is a big franchise. I'm just saying, like, I'm not a huge Star Wars head or
Listen,
anything
Sims
like
is
that,
a
but
big franchise.
but you mix them two together, it's like Lego Batman or Lego
But those
anything.
are games that
Those
you
are-
can play out in stories. That's what I don't understand. It's like, wait, I'm gonna.
At least the cool thing
I don't know.
about the game, they all speak Hattis now in The Sims.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
they don't speak English at all. Already. It's just the same gibberish.
It's gibberish. It's gibberish. That's all. It's just gibberish.
Hattis.
It's a T, so that means it's different. It's different. It's still not. I mean, do people understand it?
Not proper Hattis.
It's not proper. No, it's still sim. It's still simish.
Simish.
Imagine if they took that language and then made it sim. I'm like, wait, they're both fake. So this is.
Oh no, baga, oh no, baga.
And it'll be like, it's the same thing you just
man.
said. Same thing you just said.
It'd just be all gibberish, just mashed into each other.
You know how, like, in every Star Wars movie, there's always like a side novel or something like with like the minute character that's shown for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What if they did that with this and like had a whole like side story for like this one character that doesn't do shit?
I just don't get how they were showing
know.
storyline. I just don't get how
I
they
don't
were
know
showing. If you
either,
were
man.
just the characters in the Sims world, fine, whatever. But they were showing storyline. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hey, look, man.
It was one of those things. I'm like, you
I'm
know,
gonna
like,
have to buy it.
you know when they show things in a presentation, like
It's
you,
tough.
you're waiting for some things, and then you see something, you're like, okay, next, just
Yeah, yeah.
automatically next. as soon as I saw it, I
yeah.
said, I don't care, just next,
Yeah,
next,
yeah.
next thing, please.
It was a big
I
announcement.
don't
I'm
care
sure
for it.
somebody's excited for it, but I'm not.
On another note, they did have Lego Star Wars. And this
That
is
look,
like,
that always looks good. That's
It was-
always
always
good.
fun.
That's
it
always
did look good.
The Lego
Always
games.
I was surprised that they
Yeah.
took it all again and did it differently. And I was like, wait a minute, they're doing a different game with the same storylines again. And it looked good.
It always looks good.
It looked good.
imagine?
And it's
Always.
for the new systems,
Always looks
which
good.
is crazy too.
You know what makes me think? Why can't they do one without Legos? Why can't they do a good game without the Legos? Why
make
does it
them
have
regular
to be?
graphics?
Yeah. Why does it always have to be
Jedi Fallen
Legos?
Because
Order.
it makes it good.
You know?
Imagine.
No, I mean like the style
mean like
of the
the
Legos,
story,
the
though,
style
like
of Legos. You know,
They
the,
had
the
you flying-
co-op and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
They had you flying the jet, everything.
It looks awesome.
And I
Remember
was
the
like,
last one we played was I think it was Clone Wars.
Was it Clone
That
Wars?
shit was
That was good.
the split screen went like wherever you
It was a
went.
dynamic split
It was
screen.
smooth, yeah.
It was
really.
so smooth.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
No, they always do a good job with the Lego ones, man.
that looks good. That game, yeah.
I don't know about that sim shit though.
I really like all the hypotheticals the game throws at you, like what if, you know?
do a
Like
good job.
I was so surprised when they like Palpatine comes out with plastic.
Oh yes, that was actually hilarious. Yes, with the lightning, is like, all right, hold on, no, it's not gonna work. All right, let me get some real shit.
Nah, they certainly got the humor
No,
in that.
it's
in that
always
game.
funny.
Yep.
But to stay on the last but least Star Wars game they announced, it was the Star Wars Squadrons.
Yes.
And some people get excited over here about
Yes.
being in the cockpit, shooting, all this stuff. I mean, a lot of people buy that arcade game for Atari still,
Yeah.
and it's still big news when they buy that
true.
old game where you shoot you shoot everything out. But this is, I guess, geared towards the fans of that. My gripe is when they have that entire cockpit as a big circle, and it's just taking up the entire screen. And I was like, this is a first-person shooter, but that thing is in the way for like 60% of the screen to 70% of the screen is a big circle, and I'm
love
like, move that back or something.
This
a
is
little
what they
bit.
had to deal with in the
People love it.
movie, man. And they gotta make you feel like you're there.
It's immersion, man. Immersion.
The other views were fine, and that's
Probably
the type
could
of game
change
it is. But I mean, it's not the worst Star Wars game. Definitely, it's probably gonna be good. Like, what was the one for GameCube when they were flying?
Oh shit.
Rogue
Rogue
Squadron.
Squadron.
Rogue
Right.
Squadron. That was great. That was
Yeah.
great. If this is anything like that, it gives you that adrenaline, gives you
Rogue
the
Squadron
music.
was good.
Because all you need is the sounds and the music, and people who love Star Wars are going to
Oh
just
yeah,
go crazy.
They're gonna be in heaven.
And the second they hit those lasers, I'm in the game.
And
they're going to throw in the helmet.
Throwing that co-op. You got throwing that co-op, man.
They're going to get the orange jumpsuit. They're going to be in there.
Not to beat this over the head, but it's made by what is it, EA, and they did Battlefront 2, and
They're
the
doing better.
space dogfights in that game are crazy.
Dope.
It's like the flying in vehicles, it's crazy. So it looks like this game is just going to focus on that. So if they play anything like the freaking Battlefront ones, it's going to be.
Is it better than Starlink?
As far.
What was that?
Starlink was $5.
Damn.
As far as the dogfights, all right, well, it's smoother on PlayStation 4. Okay, it just looks.
Yeah,
It's,
dude, that made him so sick to say that. Oh my god.
the place it plays. You
know why?
It controls the same. It's 60 frames.
There it goes.
I knew it.
So when you have a space shooter that's 60 frames, it's
can't.
hard to beat, especially. But also in Battlefront, you can tilt upside down. The way you can just like go from upside down and fly that way if you want is insane.
Dude,
So
I know that was a dilemma for you to say that because
Yeah.
you're like, I love Nintendo.
Starlink,
I love Nintendo.
Yeah, he was
but I
hurting.
love 60
He
frames.
said, say it.
Starlink has great flight mechanics, has awesome flight mechanics, but yeah, they're a little smoother in Battlefront. So if Squadrons is anything like that, then
better
it's
be
gonna
smooth. It
It's
better
going to
be
be
smooth. Yeah.
really, really impressive.
It's next generation. It better be
Well,
smooth.
my worries is, I mean, if it's distributed by EA, someone up there is going to have their greedy mitts in this cake. It's like
They've been doing better. They have been doing better.
They're trying to learn from their mistakes.
It'll be
hopefully.
controversial for the first year.
I really hope DICE will have complete independence from what EA wants them to do, and I like you say, game experience, have that great flying in there. If I get to sit in the pilot seat, and even better, have a VR, switching and going,
that'd
that
be
would
nuts.
be awesome,
Yeah.
That could be a good idea.
Oh, play that in VR.
VR, that's probably
That'd be
pretty dope. Pulled
That
off
would
the
be
right
cool.
way.
That's perfect for a home.
Yeah.
Homes. That's like joystick in the middle, VR. You're in your cockpit.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Speaking of VR,
I'd probably throw up, but
they had a game that was VR released there. They had Medal of Honor Above and Beyond VR.
okay. So now moving on.
That's right.
I don't know how it'll play. I mean, it's a first-person shooter, so usually
Medal of
first-person goes pretty well in VR because it can be on a path, and those are usually the better games for VR. I don't know if you can move around in it. If you can, that's a total different world in VR, and you'll probably throw up and fall. But if it's on a path, it has a chance to be fun.
Medal of Honor was a good series, man.
That's why I think Panzer would work very well VR.
Oh, yes, it will.
Because on a path,
Yeah.
the path
And that's
works.
coming too.
Yeah.
It wasn't here. They did show Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time they show more.
man,
They show more of that, which it looked interesting still.
Yeah, it still looks
good,
good.
man.
Still looks
Yeah.
good.
And
Still
people have
looks
been
good.
waiting. People have been waiting a while.
Is
for
that October?
Did they give a date?
I thought it was
think they
October.
did.
Yeah.
I don't remember the date.
For the Star Wars thing, it's October 2nd.
Oh no, for
No, the Crash Bandicoot.
Crash 4.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a date for Crash 4,
they
but
said October.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
I'm still
excited.
excited. Yeah.
They sold so much. They got it. They have a franchise again.
Oh man.
As long as it's just better be better than the Universal ones. I
It's
swear.
an overrated mascot. But
Yeah, so you say. All right. So
Overrated.
What else we got?
speaking of overrated, they had Call of Duty.
Segue, yeah.
That Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Jeez,
so,
man, I'm tired of Call of
Oh.
Duty.
well, listen, it's a story. It's a story-based one. I give them credit for story-based ones. I like the story-based.
I
If
do
it's
too.
just if it was just online, I'd be like, all right, this is over. It's over for me.
Right.
But it's a story. It's a continuation of one of their best Black Ops. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll give it a shot maybe. But you know how we are with Call of Duty. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
we
like
don't
burnt
really
out from it, man.
I like the zombie
mind the
modes. That's
camp.
it. Just the zombies.
Black Ops
I
3
like
was
the
the last one.
campaigns.
That's what I'm saying.
Same with
It'll be
me.
a good campaign.
Same with me. I like the campaigns, but I got burnt out after Part 3. Black Ops 3.
You like Call of Duty?
Well, I played a lot on the PlayStation 3, and I mean, I really enjoyed Black Ops. I mean, it's like, wow, back in the Cold War. I really loved the synthy score, but then we got to the online gameplay. It's like, it just didn't feel right. It just felt subpar compared to Call of Duty. What the hell is it? Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare.
I think that had a really good online, like it felt very smooth and very quick to move around the map. But then the fucking hackers killed the game.
Oh, they
So-
ruin everything.
They always do.
They
Yeah.
ruin everything.
They always do.
They gave me all the weapons. They gave me all the XPs. Like, what's the point of me playing anymore? You know. So I stopped. I stopped playing it.
Good idea. That was a good.
Same.
That was a good move.
Yeah.
They had Watch Dogs Legion, which still looks good.
Yeah.
If you're not
I
getting
thought
Grand Theft,
that was out.
no.
I thought that was out.
Listen, if you don't have Grand Theft, at least it's something kind of similar. It's not the same.
I'd
obviously,
probably
but it'll be
enjoy it.
fun.
I'll probably
Nothing
enjoy
about
it.
No,
like
it's been quiet.
Part 2 was awesome.
No, that was very good.
Was
That was very good.
They're very
It
good
was
at
more
hiding.
than a GTA ripoff like the first.
Yeah,
one.
it's nothing.
First
like
one was
it.
more like a.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yep.
not out
Oh,
yet.
we
You
know.
can try that.
Oh, we know.
Then obviously they had Marvel Avengers, which is coming out what, tomorrow.
For the deluxe edition, it's already out.
Yes,
Big Chalk already has it
I could have gotten it.
for the wrong system though.
For the wrong system. Boo.
We can't play multiplayer. Is it cross? Is it cross?
You got it for the.
You can't.
I
You
don't
can't
know
play.
if it's crossplay,
No.
but I know.
No,
that
it's
once you
crossplay with the system with Xbox Series X and Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStation 5 and 4.
I'll get when I get the Series X, I'll get the Series X version of the game too.
But no Spider-Man.
I heard it might come to
I'm
the
not
game
paying
later.
$120
as
for
far
one
as,
character.
making it cross-platform.
Maybe. Who knows?
They should do that. Like just
They
do
should.
It. They just do it, man.
What do you guys think of the Golem game, the Lord of the Rings Golem?
Oh, the stealth game. Yeah, that looks interesting.
Do you think it's needed?
No,
I don't think it's needed at all.
I don't want to play as him, crackhead.
Would you rather have it like a regular Lord of the
I
Rings?
don't want to play as a fucking crackhead.
He's not a crackhead.
Dude, the whole part of Lord of the Rings, you want to play as Legolas with the bow and arrow, Aragorn with the swords, or the little hobbits. You want to play as a goddamn crackhead
You know what's funny?
sneaking
powers.
around.
I actually thought the
powers.
same thing.
That's-
The powers that the ring gives you, though.
I thought the same thing.
I want to be no
opens up,
crackhead.
it opens up possibilities beyond.
It's a crackhead simulator. I don't want to be a goddamn crackhead.
You never want to experience what it's like to be a crackhead
No, I don't want to know what experience to be a damn crackhead.
without taking the
It made a
drugs.
learn.
I thought the same thing, man.
Say no to drugs. Didn't the 80s teach you anything?
No,
the ring. He needs
I don't want to be a
He
crackhead.
needs the precious.
Wow.
He needs it.
His appearance is always appreciated. Oh, look at that crackhead running around in the background.
They
And
gave him
that's
more.
it.
They gave him more hair
He does look like he has more hair.
because
Yeah.
they said they didn't want him to look like a monster. I was like, dude,
And I was
Yes.
like, what?
we know what Gollum was like. It's
We
fine.
don't want him to look like these. Did they
He's
watch
not a
the
person.
films?
He's not a
man.
person.
Well, it's a prequel anyway.
Dude, I have
so,
zero
yeah.
interest in that shit. Give me another sub story like War of the fucking the Mordor games.
Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Shadow of
Shadow
War,
War's
Shadow of
so good.
Mordor. Give me something like that. Oh,
That'd be dope.
A spin-off of that.
But they're
would
giving
be
Assassin's
nice.
Creed Valhalla. That's the same thing.
you need to stop. Holla holla. Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed Holla.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Al, you gotta do that with the guys.
And then they had the expansion for Doom Eternal,
Yes.
which is fine if you ever get through your
Well,
glitch
if I-
game.
yeah.
That's
if they ever
fucked up.
patch
That's
that.
still not
Oh,
fixed.
dude.
You know what? I
Eternal,
haven't.
yeah.
I haven't checked.
And
Which
then
you
Fall,
just reminded me. I have to check that.
and then Fall Guys season 2, which is like, wow, how's there season 2? It was like
quick.
3 weeks
This
old.
is all planned, man.
It's 3 weeks old.
Exactly.
Season 2.
No, this is all planned. This is
They're
all
like-
an elaborate.
They're trying to
freaking-
take over the industry, and
Yeah,
they're
dude.
doing it.
They
Well, listen,
freaking
they're
worked
trying
on
to
this for a while.
once they find out and implement like monetizing it better, then it's over. Because you're like, oh, word. You need a dollar costume? Because you're not doing costumes now.
And they will retire the
Listen.
following year.
Oh, hell yeah, no, money out there.
They're
I'll have
never
money.
making another game. They're like, we're
Crazy.
good. We're good.
They got
Crazy
the marketing down.
But
on
at least
point,
wait like a quarter, like maybe add a stage here and there. But calling it a season, do it like 4 seasons a year, maybe. But 3 weeks
Well,
in,
we don't know what they're. Well,
it's
Man.
costumes and some stages.
Jeez.
Costumes are ugly.
call
as
it a
hell.
season.
But you could be a knight now.
Man, look at them. Just look at. They look like gummy bears running around. You want to put them in a night costume?
Yes.
Who cares?
Yes. You could be a dragon.
Can you be a crackhead?
No, that's a
let me
different
be
game.
a crackhead in Fall Guys.
You know what they need to do?
They were already. That was the first costume.
They need a stage where you can have,
Yes,
have
exactly.
weapons.
The first costume.
That's why they falling everywhere.
Yeah.
They need to have like a last man standing stage where like they have a weapon in the middle and everybody has to fight for it.
Oh
Like-
gosh.
Like the swab in Bomb Fest.
Yes,
Knock
yes.
them off.
Yes.
I like that.
Right?
That's
Night
actually
Squad.
smart.
They have,
That's smart.
they have like an off
fuck,
number
fuck,
of
fuck,
them,
fuck.
so there's only enough for like maybe half of them.
There's 5 There's 5 little swabs, and there's
Right.
10 of them.
Yeah, yeah. For every,
And that's it.
They had a few other games. I mean, if y'all want to talk about it in comments, if we missed something, put it
Dragon
down
Age
there.
4.
yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
talk about
whatever.
That's like
Wow.
That's
pre-production.
It's not even
Yeah,
not
yeah.
even ready at
That
all.
was just-
They had like the blueprints for it.
We're not
much.
ready
Yeah,
yet.
that's why I didn't talk about Age
I'm
of
glad it's
Empires
coming
at
out.
all
I'm
either.
glad it's coming
So,
out.
Of course you are. You're a fan of
They're
You don't
working
need
on
that.
it.
You don't need that in your life right
Well,
now.
they're working on it. We don't know if it's coming out. Let me stop.
yeah. They're working on it, right?
How many games did it show that never come out?
BioWare, man, BioWare.
But overall, show was decent. It just reminded me too much of the Game Awards. Like it was the same premise.
It was same shit.
Yeah.
So if they did it more, I need it to be more like special. I don't know, like how Nintendo used to do their directs, and they would have like entertaining skits, and like it's not all just games, but something to do with it, and just make it somewhat entertaining, rather than just here's this, who won this, blah blah blah. It's just so stale. They're not live. They can make it perfect. They can fix stuff. They can add effects. Like, look at the Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
Like, look at their presentation.
Right.
I mean, I talking about
awesome.
crack. there's a lot of drugs involved.
That was funny,
the way they do it.
It was funny.
They make it seem like there's a lot of drugs involved, but that's entertaining as all hell.
No, that's good marketing.
So that just means that you could do what you set out to do when you want to do it.
and they
so
have a lot of fun doing that.
and it looks fun.
Yeah.
They're having fun. You're having fun. So you can't say anything about it. You can't say some bad shit about people having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You have bad shit, like if they're saying some stale script and they're just reading, this is what I feel about this. This makes you do this. And this is the game we've been working on. Like, okay, all right.
Dude.
All right. We want to hear it from the heart. Say it again. We're feeling. Like, you worked on this game. Say it with feeling, and we'll feel it with you. That's all we have.
Dude, every time when you say stale, I always think of Ken Kutaragi with the Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer. I mean, he said it fun. He had fun with it. That was fun. All right.
I mean, it was,
but it was whack.
But it was like so like
it was so
it
empty.
was not exciting.
No. They could have did like a big thing behind them, or do like a joke, something.
I mean, that was so cringy when the 99 Nights guy came out on Konami. It's like, yes.
Oh yeah.
Everybody dead,
They can make it entertaining. That's the sad part is when they don't.
Yeah,
and they did the whole show. They had all summer to work on it, and it came out okay.
But you know why though? Because of E3 is gone.
But E3 hasn't been entertaining for a while either. So once they got, they changed
I
the whole.
I like the live aspect of E3 when they have the showcase
people
and
there,
when
yeah,
people
yeah.
fuck up and
Yeah,
and then, like I just love that.
That gives it a different look.
Every year
but you
there's
can't
always-
have anybody.
What was the
around.
girl who said bear? She was like, bear with me.
But they
I
tried.
love that. That shit went
appreciate-
viral. That was that was so
That's
awesome.
the charm.
I appreciate the try.
What about the YouTuber that?
No, that's
That
not
messed up.
trying.
That was
That's
funny, man.
Terrible.
Oh, he got
he
nervous.
he didn't have he didn't get
That's
nervous.
terrible. It froze.
The teleprompter froze.
It froze.
Oh,
yeah.
So he didn't have it.
I live for the fuck ups. I live for
So he had no idea.
and it
what
was
to say
live,
next.
and he's like,
And he didn't know what he was even
he's
talking about.
like,
He was just a celebrity.
He ad-libbed the whole.
Celebrity.
I felt
No
bad for him.
improv skills.
It was funny to watch, man.
Was it a Gran Turismo or something?
It was it was Need for Speed or something.
Something.
I think it was.
It was a
something.
racing game. It was a racing game, definitely. But he didn't
think it
know
was
anything about it. He's like, I don't know what to say now. That's why you gotta get somebody who loves the game. That's why even if it's off, you can be like, yo, this is amazing. I love it.
Get
It
someone
does
who's
this and this.
passionate about it. It's easy.
I mean, it's
talk
great
about
to
it.
read off of
He's like,
teleprompter. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's a really good game.
I mean, do what you always did in grade when you had to review books. Like, oh, it's a book about a story about something that is
If he did that, people would love it.
Yeah,
People would love it more than hate it.
Oh man,
It's great.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
so that was those are the highlights.
Yep.
Leave in the comments if you got something to say about it. We'd love to talk about it.
Talk to us. We talk back.
Oh, we gotta talk about this now. We got
the main event.
main topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game music production. Let's talk about it.
With the man himself.
yes.
Daniel Lindholm.
Lindholm. Like, why are we saying it so evil? I don't know.
yeah.
Let's dive into the depths of this music production.
Yeah, ask me anything you want.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Anything.
So we can start with how did you start with the music production and what inspires you to do gaming music?
All right. Well, let's see. We had to go back many years. I was just a little wee kid. I was brought up in a musical family, so my entire family is a bunch of performers. But when I was about 5, I started to learn to play the piano, and I thought that's what music just got for us, to just perform music. But 2 years later, I went to this beach, and they had an open air arcade. And I got there like really early. I did not know what these big black boxes were, but then the guy came in and just plugged in the power, and all these amazing sound just came out of it. And I mean, already it's printed into my mind. There was a double dragon cabinet. I was like, wow, that's awesome, you know? And then there was an Outrun sit-down cabinet next to it, and the music is just pumping out like, it's still fresh like yesterday. And I was like, you know, but the thing that really, I was looking at these games, and I was like, you know, the sound doesn't sound like the sound coming out of my computer back home. It's just blip blops and stuff. But this is actually sampled drums. There's actual real chord progressions. They're actually instruments that try to imitate real instruments the way they play. I was like, wow, this is really cool. I wish maybe someday I should do something like this, but I don't know how to write music at the time. But my first step into music production came in when we got ourselves a first computer, the Atari ST 1040. I'm not sure if that's popular in the States, but it was actually one of the workhorses for a lot of famous bands like Depeche Mode, or in any music production studio, you had an Atari ST for just driving MIDI to hardware synthesizers and syncing with the tape recorder, whatever it is. But I was not using it for MIDI. I was using a 4-channel sample-based music tracker. And that just started me to get into the way of just writing music. But I still had no idea what's the right way to really construct a song. So just like you guys probably, we just do until it sounds good. And then I started to go to music school the year after. I'm a saxophone player originally. Yeah, so I started there playing classical music and jazz, and then I went further on with funk and fusion. And then I just felt like, wow, what am I going to do now after finishing 9th grade? And my brothers before me, they went through the music college in my hometown. And at the time, that's like very exclusive. Only a selected few people could go here. So I bet everything, like a tradition in the family, to go there. And we had to do a performance test. We had to do a very simple music theory test. And based on that, you could actually raise your final score from graduation. So I actually raised my score by 0.7 points. So it's like a very high average in my ending recording grade from 9th grade. So that felt very fun. And that's where we started to learn about music theory, like learning the choir situation, like all the notes should connect to each other, and some notes should not move at the same direction. All the notes should not move the same direction. So we had to learn all these classical music theory rules that Leopold Mozart taught his son, Amadeus. So pop music is based on that classic formula of music theory. But then we got introduced, I got introduced to jazz theory, which is a different kind of music theory that's very much American way of jazz music, which I really enjoy as well. And then 2 years into the thing, we actually got access to music computers there, much more powerful hardware, but at least we did notation. And I actually started to think about what's my next step, university level. But there, actually, I started to do some real serious work on writing music and construct songs that way in many, many genres that I really like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how did the YouTube stuff start? When did you start putting stuff on there?
Oh, wow. That was much later. But I did not get the sound design chops from the music college just yet. So
Okay.
I think it was, before I even get there, I was like trying to find a university degree that could support that kind of like mixing, producing, and performing. So there was like one university high up, far up north in the cold, freezing your balls off area in Sweden. And it was called Luleå. And the thing was that it was really close to what I wanted to do, but not quite. Either you become a session recording artist, or you become a mixing sound engineer. There was nothing bridging the creative process there. So I was like, oh, shit, what's going on here? So my education did not exist at the university level, so I ended up finding a community college, and they started up a program made by the Swedish Disney dubbing stage studio, and they brought people over to teach about music production and sound design. And it was a 1-year course. I was like, you know, that seems to be something I'm interested in. So I applied, did the test again, and I got accepted. And it was a really cool course. It was not always about music, but we also had to learn about how to build our own studio, what kind of gear we need, what angles in the room work, so acoustics, the science behind sounds and all that stuff. And that was probably the most difficult thing, is to understand how sound works and why do we get phasing problems in the mix and stuff like that. So really, really appreciative. Yeah. And of course, the one day only, we had a guy come and teach us about film score. It's like music for a film, and that's like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I always thought music just only going to be for artists and musicians just playing together. Like, but there's so many outlets to get music to communicate with an audience or with a player, and it's like film music and game music kind of relates to each other to a way how we should feel. So I was like, wow, I really would like to work with film music in the future, and that has been a dream for a long time. But Swedish film industry, not so good. Only shitty movies are being made. Nothing international. I mean, the only high value movie at the time in 1998 was a Swedish agent secret spy movie called Commander Hamilton, and it actually features Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
As the bad guy.
Wow.
And in the lead role, you have Peter Storm from Armageddon, the Russian cosmonaut in space. Oh, welcome to the Russian space station.
That's why we never heard of it.
And he was a hero. He was a hero of this film. And it was like this Swedish film industry is called SF, strangely enough.
Swedish film.
But it's actually feels more like a Scandinavian film industry. So it's like people in Sweden, Denmark, Norway working together. They pool the resources together to create a film for each country. And it actually had a really good production value. But yeah, Sweden want to pretend to make American action films at this point. So that was as close as we got when we come to production.
I want to see that movie.
Production. Yeah, you can actually find the American. It's actually, there's an English dub to the film, so it's called Commander Hamilton.
Commander Hamilton.
Yeah.
All right.
Jay, you gotta get that for me.
Yeah, we're gonna,
you gotta get that.
we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I gotta watch it now.
Awesome soundtrack with one of my favorite bands called Clawfinger.
Clawfinger?
Do you know Clawfinger?
I think
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard
Sounds
of it.
familiar.
I probably couldn't tell you a name.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
song, though.
Yeah.
They had a song called Biggest and the Best, which is an awesome video. You should check it out. But it's like before we had Linkin Park and the new metal, these guys were the like Swedish frontiers of rap metal before it even.
Wow.
Okay.
Interesting.
And the funny thing is, a keyboard player in the band Clawfinger, he's actually connected to one of the teachers that I learned music production from at the Swedish Disney studio. He's a keyboard player and a bass player and a great vocalist called what the fuck is his name?
Interesting name.
Joakim Skog. Jocke Skog. Yeah, that's his name. And I really love the way he programs synthesizers and stuff. And we hooked up on Facebook now, so that's pretty nice. So,
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
yeah. So anyway, Commander Hamilton.
Yes.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah, I was about to say, someone needs to write that. Yeah, please put that down.
See if I can
We're
find
actually
it. man.
going to try and find it.
I will watch
I
it.
actually want to watch that.
Yes.
I'm not even joking.
Yes.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Probably on Netflix.
Actually, no. I think you might be able to find bits and pieces on YouTube of it, but I think it actually exists as a DVD, so you might have luck finding it
Excited.
somewhere.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So after I finished my education there, it's like they were actually offering me to go the other part of the program, which is strictly sound design, and not only music production, but really get into it. But then I My father called and said, the music school where you used to learn instruments, they're actually looking for a drum teacher, and I know you play drums, so could you come and sub for a year? So I thought, yeah, maybe I go back and get some work experience. So I went back, was a drum teacher, and then they wanted me to have keyboard students. I thought keyboard students as well. And then it's like, there's maybe one part missing here. I really need to get some of these, like if you're going to go on tour, you need to be very well prepared as a musician to mentally be prepared for the exhaustion and what's going to happen. So I actually joined another community college with an aim for music and touring. And the cool thing about it also taught us how to arrange music. If you're 5 people, you should know what your roles are in the band. Like, okay, player versus guitarists, they can basically do the same thing. But it could be that both players are playing too much or they're not separated enough. So how can we make people think for each song? Maybe the keyboard player should only lay down the chords and the guitar player just play rhythm, stuff like that. It's a really cool way to separate the musicians from each other.
Okay.
And I think that course really made me write music in a certain way that I do now for computer games, especially if you play Street Fighter V. Seku's theme, I have that philosophy in mind. I need to separate all my different playing styles for the song of the character to really feel like it's a band that's playing together. That's basically all my education shops that I've got.
Okay.
And I wrapped up in 2003, and then I took 6 months and I moved to Taiwan. And I was just trying to get get out of the country for a while, do a little bit of soul searching. And I actually got to get a job within 2 weeks when I arrived in Taipei, but not as a musician, more like I was a English teacher and a chef.
Same thing.
Yeah. I can see the similarities.
So the kids wanted me to bake brownies for them every day. Me to speak some English too,
This was in Amsterdam?
But
Sounds like Amsterdam.
Sounds like Amsterdam to me.
But it was good times. I really like Taipei City, a beautiful city, but it stinks. Oh, no, Siri, don't talk to me now. Shut up, Siri.
Hey, yo, Siri be bugging. I swear all of our phones are bugged.
Yeah.
This shit always happens.
Like, what did you say about Taipei?
Yeah. Say it again. Say it again.
One more time.
What'd you say?
That's funny.
I hope I don't say, hey, Google.
There it goes.
On your side.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah,
And I even put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
I turned mine on Do Not Disturb.
Oh my god, those things! I swear, these things
turned
are
mine-
evil.
I mean,
turned mine
that
on.
would be it's like, that's funny. That would be a great sound check before you do a presentation. You just shout out things to
Everybody
and
else.
all the
flowing.
phones just goes like, oh shit. That would be our next sound check. So 6 months in Taiwan, but then something happened, like a friend of mine in Sweden did not feel well or something. So I had this dilemma, should I stay or should I go? And I went back to Sweden, and it turns out the situation was not as serious as someone thought, but I left behind my girlfriend in Taiwan. I lost her forever. So like, man, why? And I've been beating myself up all over for that.
Oh, jeez.
So then I tried, let's see if I can find a job in my hometown for something. So I was looking for jobs for 2 years, and I only got one interview in 2 years.
Jeez. Just
Like, screw this. Look at my cousin. She left Sweden when she was 19. She went to Germany. She was working in the Netherlands. She was a stewardess for KLM at one point. Today, she's almost CEO of a German company. I was like, she didn't have a university degree, Like, Mom, I think this is my generation. We are not the one who will be able to survive in this country because, A, you need lots of contacts. You need lots of friends.
Yeah.
My social circle was very small, like only 2 or 3 friends in the city. And I don't have any connections to anything that would validate me to work with music in Sweden. But then, during this time, I was also invited to a few people's home to play video games. And when I saw Metal Gear Solid 2, and I saw the name Harry Gregson Williams pop up in there. It's like, oh shit, he's writing music for computer games. It started to look legit. But then you also start to realize, not technically, he's not really writing computer game music. He has to do it for the little story sequences, like a film.
Cinematics,
you know?
yeah.
But the way that anyone now could somewhat record into digital form onto a computer, hard disk recording, and all this stuff, it all now starts to come in place that, yeah, this is a time where I actually should try to aim to produce music for games or film. It seems so accessible now. But okay, so I'm in Sweden. We have maybe 3 or 4 game companies at the time. We have like Avalanche Studios, the Chronicles of Riddick. We have DICE. Yeah. Battlefield 42 was really big at the time. And then we had maybe 2 more studios down in the southern part of Sweden. But the problem here, actually, not a problem. A lot of the Swedish game studios come out from the tradition of something called the demo scene. Are you familiar with this?
The demo scene.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so demo scene is basically this electronic creative form of computer programming, mixing together music, visuals, and artistry. But it's like making, some people call it electronic graffiti.
Okay.
That's put it. But it's also a really cool executable, artful program. So they mix music timing to the visuals. It's like a music video, but it's happening in real time.
Okay.
So and from that, a lot of computer programmers from there managed to own their skills, and later they said, okay, we have enough skill set now to start a computer game company. So that was a thing. So there was a group of friends come together, creating these amazing things, and then they started up a company when they felt confident they had the skill set. But unfortunately, the music position was already taken. So there was no one else doing the music except that one guy, and they were only dedicated for that company. So it's like, I'm pretty much fucked here. So which other country can I go to? United States. I mean, I love film. I mean, that's my passion in life. I should go to LA, but then it just occurred to me, I don't know anybody. And internet was still in its infancy when it comes to social web connection sites. Only thing I had was Yahoo Chat, and I only talked to people in Chicago, and that's maybe this kind of describes my accent a little bit. So I was just hanging around, but I didn't really make any good contacts with people. So then I thought, okay, so if Sweden and in the U.S. are similar to that, you really need to know people to get somewhere, then I'm shit out of luck. Which country values skill over personal relationships? Like Japan. Cool. I think I have a chance here. So I told Mom, Dad, don't get upset. I know I moved out of your place, but I can't stay in your house, and I'm 25. Come on. So I politely said that I really need to find a future that's right for me. Look at my cousin. She's working overseas. She's doing great. Not with the right amount of, no university degree, but she's doing great. And I told you the Taiwan story. I found a job within 2 weeks. I feel it's going to be the same. So I moved to Japan, and that's a crazy story. So before I get to Japan, I stay at a friend's house in Stockholm, and he's maybe about 50 minutes away from the airport. And when we used to be in a rock band together. I was a keyboard player. He was a guitarist, really good guitarist. He always rode in this kind of cool Opel unmarked sports car, a German car maker, Opel. And I was like, okay, he surely will have that car for me. When he comes, like, I was looking for the Opel. Where's the Opel? And then you start to like, very old-ass Russian East German car. And I was like, what happened to your car? It's in the repair shop. This is a loaner. Okay, great. So it's January. It's freezing cold. I have a saxophone on my back. I have maybe a backpack, and then my suitcase. So it's like 3 huge bags that I have to carry with me. And so we get to his place, and oh my God, the evening said, okay, let's set our alarms at 5 o'clock in the morning. I really need to be there at least at 6. Okay, no problem. And I thought it couldn't get any worse, like the movie Home Alone. There's a snowstorm. There's a snowstorm, knocks out the electricity. And I woke up. My phone is 6 o'clock. I was like, what the oh, shit, we gotta move. Come on, we gotta go. And then he said, oh yeah, I just need to warm up the car first. And the car's warm very slowly, and we have to take off the snow from the windshield. And then we went out onto the freeway. And when we went to the freeway, I was looking at the needle. It's like 30, 40 kilometers per hour.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
what the hell's going on with the car? And then I thought really deep to myself, please don't break down. Please don't break down. It breaks down.
Of course. Why wouldn't it break down?
Yeah, I was like, oh, my luck, right? So he called for a taxi. The taxi took me from there to the airport, the most expensive taxi ride in my entire life.
No.
It was like almost $100. It was awful. Swedish taxis are super expensive. But anyway, so I got to the ticket counter and said, well, you missed your first flight to Heathrow, but there's another one in the next 2 hours. You can catch that flight. And since you're a student, don't worry, you still have an open ticket. I was like, okay, sure, great. What I wish now, from this moment on, they could have told me that there's only one flight from Heathrow to Tokyo per day. But I waited for that second flight. I went to Heathrow. And when I arrived in Heathrow, I was going to get my ticket. I said, the flight for Japan has just departed. I'm sorry, you have to wait another 24 hours. Like, why couldn't they tell me in Sweden? You know, I was now living in a terminal for 24 hours in Heathrow, which I know is full of people who would like to rob you dry.
The worst.
Damn, man.
I couldn't sleep or anything. So, yeah, so I was like holding on to everything. But then the next morning I flew to Japan, and I knew just like a few months earlier I had started to make some Japanese contacts. Like I was hoping that, like in Sweden, if you have some friends, you call them friends, hey, I'm coming to Sweden. Can I stay at your place for a little while? You know, like, yeah. So I was hoping there would be something like that. But I arrived in Japan, and I told them on an email, I might be 1 day late because I missed my flight. Okay. I arrive in Japan, and I go to the coin-operated phones. I type the numbers in. On the list of people I had to call, no one was answering. So I was like, oh, shit. Damn. What am I going to do now?
Oh, man.
So I sleep another night in a terminal, and I get woken up by a guard who says, あなたはパスポートはどこですか? わかる? Oh, fattar. Do I understand? Oh, yes, here's my passport. Yeah. And then he gave it back to me. Says, okay, your passport is in order, your visa is stamped and everything. Okay, good. And so I was just waiting. So next morning, I called the list again, and then there was a girl from the Philippines. She answered the phone, and she said, okay, I want you to buy a bus ticket and go to Tokorosawa. And that's like maybe 1.5 hours away from the airport. And I'll meet you there, and I'll get you to your place where you can stay for the night. And I said, okay, thank you. And I go, and she shows me, okay, you're going to be staying in this hotel tonight. I was like, wait, I don't have any money for that. I only have 1,000 yen, which is about, what could it be? About 10 bucks. And then I have Swedish money in my account so that I can access somewhere, but at the moment, only 1,000 yen. And I was like, but I will pay for your night here tonight, so you don't need to worry about money or anything. It's like, oh, I feel so guilty, you know. But anyway, and she said, tomorrow you go out and find a job.
All right, done.
Oh, shit. What am I supposed to do?
I got that.
Like,
I got that.
yeah.
Where do I start?
So I sleep for the night, and then I pack my gear and get outside, and I walk down this street called Propay Street. Very interesting name. I don't know why. But far down, I see a guy with a very shaved head, glasses, circle form. I was like, it's like there's something with this dude. I just need to ask him something, you know. And I said I really need to get a phone card so I can call the people on my list. So I said, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to ask him about it. So, excuse me, sir. Yes. I was wondering, do you know there's a place around here where I can buy a phone card? Oh, yes, go down that street. You turn right, and on the left side, there's a 7-Eleven where you can buy your precious phone cards. Very proper British English, but with something about his face that just caught me. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, sir. This is a very strange question, but where are you from? Oh, me, I'm from Sweden. Jokes! Me too.
Whoa.
It's like, it turns out that this guy has been living in Japan for over 10 years, and he's the manager of a gaijin house. So he's offering me a room to stay until I find a job, and then I can start paying rent.
No way.
But I told him, give me another 24 hours, and I'll contact you if I need help. I said, yeah, I have one room ready to go if you need it.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
And yeah, so that's how I managed to finally start living in Japan, was because of that lucky accident.
That's insane.
Jesus, man, what a fucking journey.
That is crazy.
That's like destiny.
Yeah, that's just like
it's kind of like destiny.
that's like you were meant to.
meant to be there.
Yeah, you were just meant to be there, meant to run to that person, and that's crazy, man.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had nothing, so that was like, wow. Yeah, as you said, this was meant to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then I started applying for jobs. I had my laptop with my music on it, and now this is a weird thing. Usually you go out and look for jobs, but never would you imagine you type your own ad saying, composer looking for work in the media sector for TV, film, radio, maybe computer games like that. And I sent it into this free gaijin paper. And just 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from a media company. And they would like to meet me. I go and meet them. I show them my music. And they say, we're going to offer you a sponsorship.
Yeah.
So I got a sponsored visa that lasted for 3 years. And this is very difficult. Artist visa in Japan, you never get it. You never get it, no matter how. But I got it for 3 years sponsorship, and that was just lucky. But they also said, we cannot guarantee you music job all the time, but we hear that you're really good at English. Your voice is very genki, so maybe you could be an English teacher. Okay, again, I do have experience teaching, so that's what I'm doing on and off. And then I met my girlfriend, and now it's about leading into my first AAA game here. And the funny thing is, she saw an advertisement, actually a music competition. Oh, I hate the word music competition. Yeah. So she said, there's an agency and they're announcing like a music competition for a Japanese game company. They're making sports games, but they don't say what sport game it is. But I have a feeling it's Konami and Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All right. So what are the contents of this? Well, if you're a one-genre artist, send in 3 songs, at least one with vocals in the style that you prefer. Anything max 7 songs, 2 songs need to be vocals. So I thought, okay, let's do the Royal German Brass for like Champions League style sound. Let's do some Prodigy, some big beats there. Let's do some David Holmes from Ocean's 11. Let's pull some Ibiza, Latin American techno, dance music, some operatic stuff, and shitty Britpop with my vocals on it. And I was like, well, I wrote one song every day, and each song became like 3 to 7 minutes long. It's like anthems almost like that. But I got a phone call and they said, is this Daniel Lindholm? Yes, speaking. Well, we're calling from this agency, and the thing is that we have some good news and some bad news. Okay, all right, so give me the bad news first. Well, first of all, we think the client is an asshole. What? That they didn't pick your songs because you just showed us, you have like this amazing width, and there's like a very high quality to it. And we never heard about you before. Are you new in Japan? Yeah, I'm pretty new. I just got fresh off the boat. Okay. So here's the other thing then. This is a good news. We would like you to, actually, you're the first guy we're calling because you have an idea we would like to exploit here. We would like to create a composer's pool. A composer's pool, can you please elaborate? Well, like usually an agency like ours, we only supply clients with artists, singers, actors, and stuff like that. But we never offered the client original material like this before. So this like it before we got the term production house. So composer's pool was the way. So I said, no. Oh, of course, I said yes. So yeah, sure, I'm interested. Okay, now listen very closely. You're the first one we call, so please don't tell the other people when we meet them. Okay, other people. Yeah. We need to at least have 7 or 8 people so it looks more like we're actually starting a new branch of. So yeah, sure. All right, we're probably going to have a meeting with all the other involved in the next 2 weeks. So 2 weeks comes and I meet up all these amazing producers that have been doing a lot of stuff in Japan already. It's like we have 3 guys from the U.S., a guy who's Japanese, but he's been adopted by an American family in Japan. So he's like a mix between 2 cultures. But he's fully Japanese, which is really cool. And then you have a German dude. And funny thing is, I thought he was from the U.S. because his English is so great. But it turns out that he was brought up on the West German side to an American father and a German wife. Well, mother. Sorry.
Like, wait, what happened?
But, yeah. But the funny thing is, his name is, well, he actually went by his artist name in Japan, which is, hear this, Benjamin Franklin, or Ben Franklin.
Wow.
Okay.
You must have got jokes.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember.
Mad jokes. Mad jokes.
The dude is incredibly talented. I mean, he sounds and sings like George Michael. He has the chops for music production. He's like the perfect, I would say, probably one of the perfect who represents music, style, and production in a fantastic package. So it's like, he's going to be something. That's what I feel. He's going to really take Japan and the world with storm. And he had a few hits on Pro Evolution Soccer Series soundtrack. Like he played 2009, there's a track when you do a career mode called Hero for a Day. That's him all over that thing. And it's such a great anthem for the game. So, and we were very close. I mean, he was actually living nearby my area of all places. His ex-wife was living here and their kid. So he used to come here and pop by to meet, and we just hang out. So awesome. So, but he was also the team leader for the game we're going to write for. And that's the thing. My first game became Pro Evolution Soccer 2009 Playmaker for the Nintendo Wii. And that was 80% produced by our agency. So, and that's not a bad start until Konami started to shit themselves. But yeah, that's how I got into the gaming industry.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah, right.
That's a journey right
Wow.
there, man. That's a journey.
I had a feeling it was going to be unorthodox.
Yeah, we got to get that made into a movie.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So speaking of Konami, have you worked with them on any other projects?
I worked on 2 projects that actually killed franchises.
Please share.
Wow.
Of course, with the Winning 11s, or Winning 11, we call them here, Pro Evolution Soccer Series. On 2009, I actually had my name in the credits when you played for the Playmaker. But on the other soundtracks, I was doing more orchestration, helping other artists, but I did not get any credits. I was working on that since 2009 to 2012. And after that, I don't think there's been any jobs from Konami. Until they decided, let's look into this gaming, like gambling machines, the pachinko. And they spend a lot of money to get pachinko machines to sound right. They invest money in orchestration, invest money into really get the music there. But it's such a shame that so many people are wasting their talents when you cannot even hear the music with all the fucking balls slamming into the
It's
crates, you know? So basically, now I believe this is like on the edge when Konami and Hideo Kojima are like not really looking eye to eye with each other. It's like, of course, you start to feel that Konami started to make a lot of stupid decisions, especially when we talk about PT. These are right. And then when I got the phone call, hey, you're going to be writing music for Silent Hill. I was like, what? What? I'm going to write music for Silent Hill. Cool. It's going to be a pachinko machine. Oh.
No.
So I was writing.
Scariest game of all
I was
time.
writing industrial metal for that and some speed metal. And when it came out and Jim Sterling made a meme out of it right away, pull the lever! Woo, woo, woo! It's like,
Oh, shit.
shit.
Oh,
And that's my
man.
music playing.
That's hilarious.
Oh, like, and then again, they decided, okay, Castlevania. We're gonna make a new Castlevania game. Erotic violence. And they actually had songs prepared for me to rearrange from their classic neo metal style into something progressive metal instead. And they also wanted me to write a string quartet to support for the parts. But there's just so much time I felt was a little bit wasted. And now I hope Konami's not watching. I hope not. They fallen out in favor for me for a long time. Sure, they were good at sports games at one point in time before they got new leadership and all this stuff. But now they just want to make as much money as they can domestically. So they're not concentrating much on the international market now, as I see it. So basically, two games killed the industry. I was part of the games that killed the industry. that just feels so fucking weird having on a resume. So I omit that.
Oh, okay. All right.
We don't see it that way.
And I don't think Konami's watching anyway, so
Konami's not watching anything.
At
even if they
least
were
not
watching,
yet.
even if they were, they don't care.
No, they don't give a shit.
They're not watching anything to do with
Yeah,
games.
exactly. They don't really
They
care.
don't really
Yeah.
care. They're making their money, man. They're doing all right, especially in the mobile industry, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got a question. So growing up with the iconic game Street Fighter 2 and knowing the music in that is so iconic and like that's probably one of the standout soundtracks of the 90s easily. So when you approach to, well, first of all, how were you approached to do the Street Fighter 5 songs, and how much pressure did you feel to live up to those those iconic songs? And did you have to like rearrange them, or did you have to do your own versions of things?
Okay, so let's go back. My first experience with Street Fighter 2 in the arcade, unforgettable experience, as you said. And I was like 12 years old. And like I always dreamt if I could write music for a game like this, that would be the best thing in my entire life. And then you look 25 years later, I'm there, which is crazy. I had no idea I would be able to get there, but the road to get there was really different. But yeah, Yoko Shimomura, we have met. We've talked to each other. She's very nice. She's very humble and funny. And for her now to be part of Streets of Rage 4 soundtrack is also really cool. But yeah, when I got in, I mean, I was like in this very old mindset. When a game is being created, it's too late to do anything with it. But then I started to hear. So when I thought Street Fighter was released, that's like, okay, that's it. I cannot do anything. The game is sealed. It's done. Okay, what else am I going to do? So 2000, I think it's 2016, I get a phone call from one of the agencies, and there's this dude who wants to talk to me. I believe he's from Malaysia or Singapore, and he would like to ask me how I do orchestral, virtual orchestration, since my work with Resident Evil 6 was very high regard there. So it's like, how did you do that, and why didn't Capcom allow you to record the orchestra? I saved them money, basically. Which very sad. I really wanted to have it recorded with a real orchestra. But anyway, so he asked me, so what am I supposed to do when I make a virtual orchestra? Or what are the pointers that I should avoid doing or something like that? I really love to put compressors on the orchestra, especially the bass. I said, what is an orchestra? An acoustic sound source. You should only make it up the way that the microphone would take it up. That means no compressors, no added effects. Maybe you can EQ it, the certain section, that's fine, but you should not put anything extra on that. It needs to be a dynamic instrument that you're dealing with. So treat the virtual instrument as real instruments, as a real recording thing. It's like, cool. And all this stuff. So we went through the different sections of the orchestra, and that was pretty much it. And I thought, that's it. What else can I do with this dude? So I didn't think about it. Then about 1 month later, now it's November, late November, I get a phone call from another agency, and they're asking me, hey, Bandai Namco, they were about to release a new version of Tekken 7, and they would like you to write the intro music for their attraction video for it. Nice. It's like, wow, that would be so cool. Here's the thing, when do they want it done, And they said that we haven't set anything on the schedule right now, and if we do, we hope that you'll be able to do the project like the last week of December or something like that. I was like, you know what? Last week of September, it's Christmas and holiday, right? I'm outside. I'm traveling to Bali every year to relax. So unfortunately, our schedules did not work out that well. So, so close, I thought. Yeah. That would have been awesome to write the intro for Tekken 7. So I thought, okay, that's done. I missed a good opportunity here. 2 months later, I get the phone call from that dude again. And he said, do you know anything about the game Street Fighter? I was like, yeah, yes. I do. I played Street Fighter 2 as a kid. I really love it. So yes, I have a history with Street Fighter 2. I stopped playing at 3 because I just felt it started to get a little bit more complicated. But I'm aware of these games. Yes, of course. Okay, great, buddy. Here's the thing. Capcom is adding a new character to the game. He has no previous history, but they want some hip-hop music for him. Do you have any music laying around?
Laying around.
I said, give me 3 hours. I'll get something for you. The thing is that I do so many genres, but I don't really have a library because I always make custom music. So I only write music when I'm getting paid, basically. That's how I look at it. So they sent over an example. Oh, of course, it's going to be Eminem 8 Mile Lose Yourself soundtrack as a reference track, right?
Wow, that's funny. That's
funny.
That's hilarious.
And of course, hip-hop is so easy to make. There's no, it's just a loop going over and over again. You have to think about how can we make it more interesting. And because in the beginning, I just thought, they just want to copy this thing. There's no melody. There's nothing there. What am I supposed to do? There's no melody in hip-hop. So anyway, I provided a kind of a faithful 98% rendition of the groove for Lose Yourself. And I said, okay, here's my take on the reference material. And Capcom said, okay. Capcom said, we think you're the right guy for the job, but please change it so we don't get sued by Marshall Mathers. It's like, all right, well,
that's awesome.
So they started now to give me documents. They got me concept art of the character. They gave me some video to see him bounce around a little bit. So it kind of got me the feel. But the thing was that he was wearing his sports jersey outfit, the white hoodie and the black pants and the red shoes. And I was like, okay, I understand that's the hip hop part. But I still had no idea where I should take my music from here on out. But of course, they said, change it. So, okay, let's first start. I really would like to have the guitar there, so I'm not going to change the guitar. But the bass is very rock bass. How about we just change it to something more? Because they just gave me some more description that, he has a psycho power and all this stuff. So how can I explain that with music? So thinking, let's have a synth bass, and let's have the synth bass glide across an octave of one note. So, woo, woo, just like Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance. That's an awesome bass line. That is not really a bass line.
You hear that bass line?
But that, I mean, that rubber band effect, it's like, it sounds very psycho. It sounds very out of this world, out of this place. So like, okay, that's the first aspect of the song I will change. Then I said, like, okay, what else? I mean, we have drums going there, but there's like, it needs to have something extra, so maybe a hand clap, but not like a straight hand clap. I would like to have a hand clap with lots of reverb, and then I'm going to reverse it, and then it's going to lead up to like every second or third snare hit. There's going to be a clap that matches with the snare drum to give it a little more dynamic flair to it. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. But what else? Now, hip hop music, obviously, samples is very important to that thing. But right now, samples, a lot of copyrighted stuff. Of course, I cannot do that. That one, I was thinking, you know what? Let's throw in a little dirty piano there and EQ it. And so I play the little piano line. I sample it down. I EQ it to sound like it's really a sample going over and over again, MPC style. But then I was like, this still sounds too general. And I started looking at sample orchestra. Sure, but it's been done to death. But no one has ever done hip-hop with an orchestra that's dynamic and follows the music and structure. And I think that kind of became the ace in the hole to really write an orchestral score that follows through the different parts of the song. And I think that sets it all apart from regular sampled hip-hop. So I got to use my orchestrations techniques to full of my abilities here.
Nice. That's really awesome.
And then I sent it in, and it's like, I know, like, this is hip-hop, but something missing. We need to have a voice or something, but I'm not going to propose the question that I'm going to rap on this. But let's see what they say here. And Capcom said, well, this is pretty cool, but we were thinking we would like to have some rap.
There it goes. There it goes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's funny.
That's you want me, moi, a Swedish country boy, to do the rap for you? No, that's no problem. We got a guy in Japan who's from New York. His name is Caleb Combs. He will provide the lyrics, and he will do the rap. So just send the beat to him, and he'll work from there. So Caleb, we never met. We never were in the same room. I never spoke to the guy. But this is really weird because as a producer, you should be there. But they kind of got the gist of the lyrics was approved by Capcom, so the lyrics are very clean, which is good. Even thought I wanted to be more aggressive, but I told myself, like, when I get his stuff, I'm not going to read the lyrics. I'm just going to lay the track into my thing, and I'm just going to press play. But the only requirement in my head was, if I hear the word fist in there, I'm going to be super happy. I press play, like, okay, cool, all right, okay. That's the intro, all right. And then it comes, fist. I was like jumping up and down. And
That's so cool.
Holy shit, that was a magic moment for me. So, and he sent me 2 versions of the same lyrics, but a different approach. So, and I felt the A version was more honest and open and much more aggressive than the B version. So I said, Capcom, A version is the one we should go for. And they agreed, yes, this is the one. So just compile all the files and send us to us, and done. I was done with the first character, only character, I thought. I said, that's it. I've done Street Fighter 5. OST.
That's in the books.
And,
That's in the books.
Yeah, it's like in the books. My name is in the game. I don't need to worry about anything else. So let's figure out what's the next step. What's the next game? But then that's what I do. A lot of people do the mistake of thinking that, okay, I've done a song for this game. Just hope for get another one. if you sit and wait there and nothing is coming to you, you're going to feel so incredibly disappointed. So I decided everything I do is a one-shot only, and if I have that mindset, I will not feel disappointed if they don't call me again. Right. And 2 weeks later, I get another phone call. Okay, we got a new character for you. It's like, okay, all right. What about? Well, here's the thing. It's going to be a girl, a fortune teller. If you played Street Fighter Alpha, you know there's a person named Rose, right? She's her, her apprentice. Okay, all right. Now, we would like to have some trance music. Do you have any trance music for her? It's like, yeah, I got three trance songs ready to go. So let me show you what I think. So, of course, now, here we come. What is your definition of trance music? Let me hear your feelings about trance music. What is your definition of it? What kind of instruments are we using here?
A lot of synths.
Whoa! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't ever do that again.
That's not an explanation.
That's not a sound. That's nothing.
It's electronic music.
Yes, a lot of
And
synths.
very repetitive in a sense, and a very long song.
And usually no lyrics.
No lyrics.
No.
No lyrics.
Trance.
No.
All right. Yeah, so same image as me, right? So I gave him like a Goa trance, with filter suites and all that stuff. I gave some regular trance, dance trance, maybe you can call it that, like more Western scales. And then some dark trance, which I would probably explain her mood and darkened color, like she has all these visions and stuff like that. So I thought maybe one of these would work for them. And Capcom came directly and said, "You know what? This is not what we're looking for."
Wow.
Like, well, you said trance music. Okay, we got a video, YouTube here. So let's send you a link and let's see if you can salvage it. All right, so I get the link and I check the video, and one of the tags says post-German rock.
What?
That's
totally
what
not.
Wait, whoa.
That's not
trance. That's trance. That's what they thought was
Well,
trance?
it's like, so they were imaging like 60s psychedelic rock music.
Oh.
Okay.
That kind of trance
okay.
music, you know.
Not actual trance.
But let's mix it with progressive metal. That's what I did. I took progressive metal legends like John Petrucci, Joe Satriani, and Steve Vai, and I used that as my palette. It's like 90s psychedelic rock metal. And they say, okay, that's great, but the music never changes. The bass line just keeps going on and on and on. So that's a repetitive part of the trance music element, basically. But it's all more live performed stuff. And I honestly felt that maybe this character will not be interesting because the music is so monotone. But I do put a lot of layers to make it more and more interesting, but I never changed the key. So that means I don't go outside. It's just very, very safe. So for me, that was like easy money anyway. But I just complied to the requests of Capcom that, and the music supervisor, he's really nice and sweet. And then with him, he could really tell, like, okay, this is good. This is what the audience want. Trust me, this is good. And I was like, okay, I just have to put my trust in the music supervisor. And obviously he was right. The character of Menat became this waifu of a lifetime for a lot of guys out there. Yeah. Max loved the chick. The arbitorial guy, he loves Menat. I was like, to hear the praise from them, and maybe some people are talking about the music, and I don't see many Street Fighter people talk about the music when a character is being released, because they've probably been cheated, especially with a lot of characters. They get like theme music from other bands representing, and then that's a trailer, right? And I think when I did Ed, the boxer, the first character, people thought, oh, that's never going to be in the game. That's just a trailer. But when they heard the music is actually the character's theme song, I was like, holy shit, I did something first for Capcom for once. And I think that was fun to do.
That's dope.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
So, I could not believe that she would be so popular too. But for me, she was never a winner. She was like, for me, a very safe bet to write music for. And I thought, okay, that's it. Second character in the box, locked and and then the magic number is 2 weeks later. I get another phone call. And I was like, okay, we're coming at the end of the second season now, and we have this old man. We don't know what he's going to sound like, but he's related to Guy from Final Fight. He's his master, ex-master, 37th master of Bushin Ryu. But he was only you could only see him in Street Fighter Alpha 2 ending if you play Guy, I guess. So we're going to send you some pictures and tell us what you think about him. And I started looking at Seku. Yeah, you played Seku? Have you played Street Fighter 5 Seku?
That's the guy who's like Strider.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Seeing him looks cool. I never played him.
So I was looking like, okay, what could be my indications for his music? So I looked straight for his clothes, very classic green, gold trim, like almost looks like a disco, I was like, yeah, it could be probably a 70s mentality dude, a little bit of free love, It's like,
Free love.
Well, let me try to get some disco or some kind of fusion music in there. So I did a track that's actually on my YouTube page, which is a discarded demo. Capcom did not accept it. It's called Old School Stealth. It's on my channel. And that's like the first essence of me trying to write music for Seku. So it was like a mix between fusion music and some like TV cop drama from the 1970s. that was like, I had it. Very cool flugelhorn trumpet solo in the middle of it and jazzy chords. And I said, yeah, maybe that's a little bit too complex for the character. Try again. Okay, how about straight disco? So I had a trumpet, tenor sax, and a trumpet and flute playing together in unison. It's like still sounds too general. So then I thought, okay, let's try something else. Let's look harder at the character. And it's like, okay, green clothes. But what about his business suit? Oh, yeah. Okay. But then you look, his business suits look very new. His old traditional fighting clothes are kind of traditional. So how about the expression I got a lot from Japanese musicians who listen to my music? They say, "You're very wabi-sabi." Wabi-sabi. How can I explain that? Okay, so they gave me this thing that you have, with the old, created something new. And that means like you're using instruments that are Japanese, but you play them in a new way that makes it fresh again, right? So it's like, okay, here's the deal. Okay, what is Seku? Bushin Ryu, obviously ninja. Now I start to feel it. Ninja, wavy hair, wind. What's Japanese instrument? Shakuhachi. There we go. Shakuhachi funk fusion. That's where we're gonna go with this thing.
Wow.
So I presented the new version of the song, and Capcom like, holy shit, this is right on the money. We have cool brass section, but the flute is the lead. That's representing the ninja. And I said, wow, this is really cool. Now, we have one request, and can you do this for us? Actually, it was part of my second song that I sent in. They wanted me to incorporate the theme from the opening of Strider, the raid in Kazakhstan.
You purposely wanted them to look like
Yes.
that. Okay.
Oh, so I see where their vision was. All right.
But the question was, how would I do the raid in this new style? So I thought, let's do it a big band flair. So we have one trumpet playing one line, next trumpet jumps in, echoes a line in a different part of the core. Awesome. I was like, yeah, that works as a big band arrangement. Let's do that. So, and thereon, Seku was born, and it's probably the character I felt I had most connection with as a musician. I really got to be me in that song. I just felt I had so much freedom to write for Seku. and with only that requirement, get the fanfare from the raid in there. That would be awesome, and that's how we went. So I thought, okay, great. We wrapped up season 2. I thought, I'm done with Street Fighter. I don't need to do anything more. But then said, Street Fighter season 3 coming up.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
I was like, okay. Now it gets a little bit more complex because we have to deal now with the legacy characters. Characters who've been in the game before, they have a distinctive theme, and we need to be honest with their progression in their story. So the first one was actually kind of a controversial choice. It was Sakura.
Sakura.
I remember that.
That's one of my favorite
And
songs.
a lot of people really loves our Street Fighter 4 alteration of the song. And Capcom told me that Sakura, she has to grow. She needs to be more thinking hard about her life choices for the future. So how can we make her sound more mature? And they already had a genre in mind. So let's say clubhouse music or something like that. And I said, that's actually a really good direction. So I just worked from the genre and then tried to just make the melody match the chord structures. And it was pretty much a very safe song to write because they already had the Kasugano Residence theme made by another guy. So both bases were covered, the great theme and the character-driven theme. So yeah, she was really easy to write for. But the hard one, which I was nervous for, was Cody. Final Fight Cody.
Yeah.
And this is the time I discovered Reddit.
Reddit is dangerous.
Oh, yeah. What's
Yeah. So I mean, I was stupid enough to go out on Reddit, and I was looking at what do people think about Cody for Street Fighter 5. Like, he was not even released yet, but people making assumptions like nobody touches Cody's Street Fighter 4 theme. That if they fuck it up, I'm never gonna play Street Fighter 5 again.
Oh yeah.
Lies.
That's hilarious.
So a lot of fanboys in there.
Oh, they'll be there.
But who loves the character? That's the thing. I think there's like a misunderstanding when people say they love or hate something. I think they just want to, passionate. They want to be part of this guy's journey. But how do we progress from there? But definitely they said we want hip hop for him. And I said, still? He's a mayor of New York or mayor of Metro City now. How would hip hop still be part of his legacy? Well, let's see it like this. We still would like it to be hip hop a little bit faster. I see. But hip hop in general, we talk about BPMs between, I would say, between 65 to about 90 BPM per minute. That's like a good thing for hip hop. But to make it faster, it's kind of bridging to a different genre for me personally. So I said, okay, I'm going to do like this. The first 2 songs I sent in, they're also on my YouTube page. They're like Cody theme 1 and theme 2 or something. These were rejected because the songs were a little bit too slow for the character. And I could see that actually. And it still sounded a bit too dark, even though he was now wearing suit and tie and a good looking face. So I was like, okay, we need to make something that's more salute, something more upbeat. But I still would like to have the intro to be a little bit slower. So this was the first time I actually, in any game, I actually changed tempo. So I was thinking, okay, he needs to transition from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5. Let's have the intro reflect his Street Fighter 4 days and then transition into the new brighter days. So that was my idea. So, but of course, like any person who doesn't know music, they're going to say, he stole that from Queen. No, it's just 2 chords. It's just 2 chords. This is nothing to do with Queen. But show must go on. It's actually not a bad analogy that he has left his past behind him and keeps moving on to his new life. So, as a tribute, I think that's awesome. Yeah. But no, I did not steal. I did not copy Queen. I just felt the 2 chord. That is any music. That's just a warm-up,
That's awesome.
But then, so we started with Cody to be more upbeat. Actually, the funk bass line that I have is actually inspired by my drum teacher. I actually learned drums from a bass player.
Really?
So he was playing bass and I was playing drums. So
percussion, yeah.
you could have the low E. The low E would be the kick drum, and the high E slap would be the snare drum. And that's how I learned to play drums in a fun way. So I basically thought, I'm going to borrow my drum teacher's bass line just for this one. So I did that. Nobody knows about it until now.
Now they do.
Secret's out.
And it's like, okay, that's cool. It's very hip hoppy. It's much lighter, and then we I need to have we need to find the more uplifting parts of Cody's character. So let's give him that more dreamlike guitar, U2 guitar kind of riff that comes in later. It kind of makes it feel like he's flying. He has a lot of flow into his character. He has a more positive outlook. But the big thing is when you do I would not say the drop. I don't like the word the drop. It just sounds like a lot of things just disappear. But for some people, that's where the thing really happens. And that's when I thought, Mayor, classy suit. He needs a salute. Let's bring in the trumpets. And that's how I managed to adopt the arcade theme into the arcade attraction mode theme into the trumpets. And I think that was a hard thing because I only had the sounds from the CPS-1 cabinet to work with. So even there, you're not really sure what those sounds are supposed to represent. Maybe guitars and bass and stuff like that. But to arrange a theme from a classic cabinet into a new style and then have it done this way, it was really interesting. But I was scared. My balls were sweating really hard. I just kept nagging, what's going to be the reaction of the people here? Right. So then I believe at Combo Breaker, actually before that, I was like, I sent in a version of the song, and I just felt maybe there's something more I can do. But the music supervisor said, no, this is great. The people are going to love it. No problem. Trust me. Okay. Yeah. And then I was just sweating buckets for a few months, and then Combo Breaker 2018 came, and they revealed Cody. And they just muted down the sound. So I was watching it live on Twitch or something. So I never could really see what was going on with the people or whatever. But just a few days later, they released the reaction screenshots from the event. And I saw people's heads going up and down. It's like, okay.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Awesome.
It's crazy. On one hand, you look at fans of a particular character when you're designing it, and you have to think like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't want to know what they think. But the fact that you went on Reddit to see how they would react to like certain things, then it's like, oh shit, fuck, this is
pressure was on.
Yeah, exactly. The pressure's on. Like, oh fuck, these people like this character.
Yeah,
I gotta deliver.
You knew people cared enough, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, Street Fighter is a tried and true, a beloved franchise.
That's a chorus song, man.
It's very important.
Or Puzzle Fighter, if you put the disc in on a CD, you get the Sakura song. Vocals ain't that great, but the instrumental on that thing is insane.
Well, there's a select bunch of franchises that are known for their music. Street Fighter is definitely one of the top. Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, like those are Streets of Rage. Like
that's why it's hard when you take that rendition of something that's classic and have to change it.
It's nerve wracking, It
is, man.
That was the main important
thing. You can't bring out the same song.
No.
So in a way, it kind of lit the fire under you when you checked that. So I think it was a good thing that you did that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a legacy character, I really need to check what the fans are thinking. Like, I need to get myself. Because I'm a fan of the game too, and it wouldn't be fair if you just wrote it the way I want to write it. So yeah, I think that's hard to find the right balance of what is good and what's fan service and what's not good. And I think that's something I learned very much when working with Japanese developers, is that to have a second set of ears come and tell you that maybe change that. It's like I'm not getting hurt by it because. As I don't look at myself as an artist, I look more at myself as a carpenter. So if I'm doing something to spec, I better follow the client's request. But once they say, put the Daniel in there, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, put me in the music. It's like, I don't have a style. That's a problem with me. I don't really have a style because I'm all over the place. So I'm not sure what the Daniel thing is.
That magic.
You're
Put that magic in.
That magic
you're
right
for
there.
hire, so it's like you like you said, you only work when you're getting paid. So it's like, all right, this is what I do, like a carpenter.
He's a
They get
musical
paid-
mercenary.
They get paid to do they get paid
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
a job.
that's-
They do the job.
That's
You
your
know
new
what I mean?
That's your new catchphrase.
Yeah, the musical mercenary.
The musical mercenary. I like that.
There you
That's
go.
M&M's. That's on the bottom.
What do you want done? I got it.
I got it.
Don't
It'll
ask
get
any
done.
questions. It'll be done.
When do you need it by?
All right, boom, done.
It's done.
You need a little Streets of
Yeah.
Rage? Well, a little, what do you want? Okay, I got
Yeah.
you.
Oh, man. I can't wait until I get to do a Streets of Rage game. That would be awesome. I mean, I really wish I could write for them. I mean, actually, funny thing, I did a remix of Alien Power from Streets of Rage 2. That's probably my favorite track. And Motohiro Kawashima, he actually gave me the thumbs up and said, that's a cool remix.
Part
Let's do
5,
it."
man.
Oh,
Part 5.
That's
Yo,
awesome.
get
Hey,
that.
there's DLC for 4.
Yo.
You said once it's out, it's not fine.
Yo.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of people give Yuzo Koshiro a lot of credit, but remember, that was always a two-man's work on the soundtrack. Now, a lot of people forget about Kawashima's but he's probably one I think did all the cool techno-ish tracks that really scrubs the FM synthesizer in the thing. Yuzo Koshiro is great, but as you said in the other episode, he took the wrong time to be experimental in number 3.
Yeah, who is in charge of that
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember. I had the same reaction.
Got a lot of respect.
Great game, but just felt
Yeah,
wrong.
everything was just
It
not
felt wrong, yeah.
finished.
It was just off.
Every track wasn't finished.
one? It's in my head. I can't.
Yeah,
The club
the club stage is the
It's in my
worst.
head.
The
I hate it.
Oh, it was, and it lasted a long time. I said, when is this stage
Yeah.
gonna end?
It was such happy hardcore.
But
It was crazy.
it's so crazy how
Yeah.
music really changes your perception of a
It could
game.
have been such a classic.
Change
It was
the
a great game
experience.
still.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great game.
No,
but
It
you
played
gotta
amazing.
tune
It
down.
played amazing.
But like you just said, when does this end?
So if you can talk him into re-releasing part 3 with you and him working on the music together,
Hey.
that is something we want to see.
No.
Well, I hope I get to meet him someday. That's the only person I have not met is Yuzo Koshiro. But I pass by his train station once a week when I started teaching at Olympus Camera at one point. So I know where he lives.
Wait, Yuzo did a Fantasy Star too, right?
I think he might have had.
I'm almost
something
positive he
on
was
that.
all up in there.
Fantasy Star.
You gotta look it up.
I gotta look
I
it
gotta
up.
look it
Yeah,
up.
I gotta look it up.
I had I also do music production, but just as a hobby. I actually a few days ago I had a dream of a track, and I put it together. It's still not completed 100%, but I want to show it to you. Like let you be the first to listen to it. You guys haven't even heard this either, but I want you to be the
heard
first
you
person to
making
hear it. And I told you about it earlier.
Yes.
But I want you to hear it and let me know, like, just critique it on your own. I'm very curious to know what you would think about it, because I don't have it.
All right.
I have a very light musical background as far as production. I'm classically trained, like, by ear from acoustic guitar, and piano I play by ear. But yeah.
Rip it apart.
That's it. Yeah. Give it to me straight, man.
I mean,
This is for somebody.
yeah.
straight.
I mean, I was so impressed, that Tommy Tallarico just learned everything just by doing it with no previous experience. And I mean, as we talked earlier, like the MDK soundtrack for me, it's always been like, holy shit, he did all that only on synthesizers. And then I start to analyze his orchestrations techniques, and he doesn't have any formal training in that. I was like, holy smokes, it's just about put your mind into it and just feel it's right. I think that's more important than writing what it's supposed to be accurate. I mean, I always say this, and actually that was a funny thing. When I went back to Sweden last year, I was talking to my saxophone teacher, who's also this jazz cat music theory guy. And I always said before I met him to other people, like, when I got my music theory in, it just clicked with me 10 years later. That means I could start working on autopilot when I'm running out of ideas I want to express. I just go back into autopilot. That's how my music theory saves me. But if you want to be unique and different, learn the theory, and then break the rules. And that's when you're going to find new ground. And when my teachers told me this last year, I was like, holy shit, I just broke the code. He said the same thing. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I finally felt we have reached, my teacher and me, we just reached the same level at this point. I was like, that was a breakthrough, definitely. So very happy to hear that.
Awesome.
But the story of Street Fighter V is not over.
It's not over. It's not. Still continuing for another year.
Because I thought Cody was, that's it. I've sealed the deal. But Capcom keeps calling me back and say, hey, we got this dude. He's a fairly unknown character. He's never been in the game before. He goes by the name G.
Oh.
The president of the world. Like, okay, what do you have in mind now? Well, we're thinking electronic music meets jazz.
That widely popular.
Wow.
Okay, all right. So, okay, well, I can try my version of the thing first, but yeah, he has no theme, he has nothing connection whatsoever. He's a mystery. Even for me as a composer, even though I got the documents and everything, I still don't understand this character. Even though they try to explain it to me, but it's like looking at a psychopath who thinks he's king.
Got the mask.
Like, at least he seems to be more friendly than Mr. Trump, so that's a good thing. So
you don't know who he is.
I just thought,
It could
okay,
be Trump.
what? Yeah, but then I start to look. Okay, synth music. What do I have there? I mean, they didn't specify anything, but I start to look at his animation. He starts up with his hand on the ground, and it says he pulls power from Gaia. And okay, that kind of started to click with me what kind of instruments I'm going to be using. So what's the most earthly instruments I can think about? Something made out of wood. Oh, violin, cello, clarinet, something like that. That would be a good starting point for the jazz part of the thing, right? And then I thought, okay, what about his body? You see it's rotating golden glowing tattoos. I was like, brass. Yeah, trumpets, trombones, maybe a tuba in there. Okay, I think I got my sound palette for the jazz part, but what about the synth part? And the funny thing is that synths is you can express yourself so freely. So I only chose sound sources that were mysterious in nature, or something could drive a pulse, but not be too like. I want to create this mystery about the character. So I just tried to create the soundscape of whooshing sounds, creating and. I think I drew my inspiration for the intro from Jean-Michel Jarre's Equinox synth album. And then the kick drum bass line is actually lifted from one of my favorite Depeche Mode albums of all time, Violator, and the song Personal Jesus.
Yeah.
And that, like, he has a little bit of a messiah complex in this in the game, like, I'm going to save every one of us. Okay, yeah. So I went with that. So I actually had like the song about 2/3 of the song was synthesized, and then there was a break with a Dixieland gas. I'm like, yeah, Dixie, whistling Dixie. That's when you go crazy. That's what it means, right? So I decided what kind of genre of jazz I'm going to go for. And I was like, that would be a perfect marriage. But what they wanted really in the percentage was that the music should be about overall 70% synthesizer and 30% jazz influence on top of it. So I had to go with a honky-tonk piano helping supporting the bass. And then we had the little breakdown with the Dixieland jazz taking over and then back to complete the loop. But yeah, that was one hell of a weird combination of genres.
Wow.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is
It
hilarious.
got done. It got done though.
It got done, but I was not quite sure if this character will resonate with the players. But even in the intro, I did something really weird that no one think. I was having this big, giant explosion. And people say, this is the beginning of time. This is the Big Bang, and he's the result of that. It's like, oh, So I maybe added something to the character that has not been explained in text, but that kind of opens stuff for more mystery, I guess. But now I told you the secret for what I was thinking.
We have it recorded now.
Yeah,
we have it recorded. We have documentation.
It's spoiled.
Too much.
We have
I thought, okay, season 3 done. And yeah, 2 weeks later, they said we got season 4. And it's like,
Capcom is funny.
really, how long is this
They
going to
don't
go?
stop,
They don't
man.
stop.
They really
They
don't.
Yeah.
They will not
It
stop.
took them a long time to count to 5. So
Yeah, for real, man.
You know how many Street Fighter 2s there were?
yeah,
They don't stop.
Like
Yeah.
10.
Now, the last 2 characters I wrote music for was actually 2, again, legacy characters, technically. E. Honda. Now, that was crazy because I always thought E. Honda's music has always been like Japanese culture. And I really enjoy the bathroom stage they created.
Bathhouse.
And that's really awesome. That's the bathhouse sequence is really awesome, dynamic music there. And that's the thing I miss. I have not written any stage music for Street Fighter V. I guess they're using a different music system for those, can I say. So if I get schooled in that, maybe I might have to write some music like that. But now they told me that, like, okay, you're going to write music for E. Honda. It's like, but he's a total Japanese character. I don't think a Swedish guy is right for the job. No. We want you to write E. Honda from a tourist perspective. Someone who's never been to
Oh
Japan.
man.
Like, stereotype the guy. Okay.
Put you in a good position right there.
That's
like,
funny.
wait.
So,
It's a setup.
so I ended up, okay, let's throw in some techno synthesizers, the shakuhachi again, some koto playing behind, and drum and bass. Let's go for that, you know? And that became E. Honda. And again, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do something really crazy. I'm going to record myself whispering, shouting in the background of the song. So the voice that you hear is me. Like,
That's awesome.
That's
vocal songs? Well, that's going to be me there. But the only thing I don't do is say, that's the only thing that's actually a sample. But it's a real
I love
thing.
that sound too.
That's
I
funny.
love that voice. Like the,
So,
yeah.
But I actually speak something in the background. I kind of whisper on top of another choir sample that I program. So I say, karate sama-sama, aikido sama-sama. And sama-sama or sama in Japanese means customer. So I say that the music there entitles aikido and karate practitioners to come to the bathhouse and to relax. That's
that's dope.
okay.
And Capcom didn't tell me. No, you cannot say that. You cannot say that. So it's like, okay, my Japanese is on point here, I guess. But I have not. The strange thing is, I've been living in this country for 15 years. When I left, I didn't speak any Japanese. There was no access to Japanese books or audio tapes. Nothing I could learn in Sweden. So I came here as a blank slate and just picking up the language as I go. And I think as musicians, we are really easy to copy and see the connection between sound and action, and that's how I've been learning Japanese. So right now, very recently, I finally had the time to start studying, especially reading katakana, hiragana. Those are easy, but kanji is the hardest one to really nail down.
Wow.
So, E. Honda, wrong perspective song. That's what we can call it. And then Capcom brought something out of the closet. You think it was dead when it comes with, like, Lucia, the street cop. And she's from Final Fight 3, or Final Fight Tough, as you call it. And that was really cool. I actually got to bring out my 1990s Steven Seagal kind of music. And I actually have a demo on my YouTube channel as well, which actually has a really cool guitar solo that I played that sounds very Steven Seagal, out for justice or something like that.
I'm a deity.
Stop it.
That's right. Yeah, he's always whispering.
the
I
time.
like that.
All the time.
That's hilarious.
Anybody else?
You think you're a big guy?
That's
so,
him.
So you do voice acting too?
Actually, that's something I've been practicing for a while, but I have not got any voice acting jobs yet. But I started to get my first singing jobs now, so that's really nice. I've been singing for, well, I can talk in general. I'm not talking about the general. Yeah, I don't know what the name of the book is or anything, but it's a English learning book in Japan, and I'm actually singing Michael Jackson.
Oh,
No
nice.
way.
Whoa.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
I would have never guessed that.
So, I mean, I think like voice acting and singing kind of works hand in hand. I mean, you have to try your voice in different modes and different things, and most of the best voice actors in the world are actually singers. So, and I've been having a really great vocal coach. I mean, when I was studying in the music and touring program, we had a vocal coach, and she taught us all these different expressions of the voice, and she even does anything from death metal to Mongolian throat singing, which is kind of similar to Swedish kulning, which we call it call singing, jazz, like hard rock, falsetto. I mean, she does everything. So we got that for 2 years, just drilling into us all these voices. And but after that, I've only tried to practice by myself. But then I ran into this guy at a jam session in Tokyo, and I play a very different instrument compared to all other people who come to a jam session. I perform what's something called an iwi, electronic wind instrument. Okay. And with that instrument, I'm actually the guy, when you hear the flute or when you listen to sekustin, every brass instrument or flute does not exist in the real world. It's been programmed or performed by me electronically.
That's crazy.
So it's all based around physics modeling of the instrument. So I have to study each instrument and how they play. Like, for example, a saxophone, a clarinet, you can bend the note with your lips, but on a flute, for the vibrato, you have to use your diaphragm to push the air out. So every sound I play, I have to think differently when I perform through the iwi.
Jeez.
And I'm using that together with a laptop, and there I have my sound sources. So during this jam session, actually it was a very monumental one, because I've been going to jam sessions for about 12 years, I think. And I said, if I don't make another contact here, if no one wants to perform with me, I'm fucking giving up on music. That was my feeling. And in comes this tall, handsome, black African-American guy. And he doesn't look like, oh man, what a bunch of losers. But it's like something I noticed. Oh, he got his acoustic guitar and jazz hat on, and said, okay, let's play this song. And it was like, that's the thing. I pick everything up by ear. I have no interest in Western pop music. I gave up after 1994. Michael Jackson was one of my idols. I really loved the guy, but then the scandal happened. I decided I will not have any idols of any kind, because it just breaks my heart and mentally. So let's look at good music. That's all I care about. But he handed out charts to some people, and we're gonna play this. I think it's called "What's Going On." I think very classy soul number, basically. But on the stage, it's a very tight-knit, like you have a keyboard, you have a drummer in the corner. I'm sitting next to the drummer, so I can barely hear shit. Then you have the bass in the middle, and then you have maybe two guys on the front that could maybe be a trumpet player and a saxophone player. And then the guy sits in front of the stage, a microphone. So we were running out of space. So all I could try to do was to listen to him when he's singing. And then when he doesn't sing, I fill in the background with my sound of and trumpet and trombone, like lay this down this mat, like a line of a string section we do in disco music, you know. So that's what I did. But after that, he said, "Here's my card." And then we spoke. Later in the evening, I got back home. We spoke for 6 hours straight and we had so much in common. And he said, those motherfucking brass wind players, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, but you do. I was like, yeah, I mean, everybody just want to be on the stage and jerk off to their instrument, but at least you got a plan. I'm a trained session musician, so that's the deal. So it turns out that this dude, his name is James Norwood Jr., he was supposed to be, after the Vietnam War, he was supposed to go to New York and be a singer, a vocal instructor for Broadway. But Broadway did not contact him on time, so he already left from there in 1970 or 1980 to move to Japan. When he got here, he got the call from Broadway. He said, well, you fuckers are too late. I'm not going to do that, come back. So he's been in the Japanese entertainment industry for over 30 years. And he's drilling Japanese pop stars. He also does good Michael Jackson dance impersonations. And as a vocal coach, he said, you and I, we're going to do something together. Let's make a duo and showcase our skills. Nice. And from there on, I got free vocal lessons from him. So trained by the best in the industry right now. Awesome. So really, really nice guy. We have the same philosophy. And that's what I say. Experience does not equal age. It's experience what you have done and failed. That's what I call experience. And
exactly.
Yep, I agree.
And we are synced up so well together. We have we practice this. No wing it shit. We just have to practice until we got it nailed down, and then we go out and perform. And that's what we're doing.
That's true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so much to still talk about. There's games that you've done.
I got time.
And I mean, I wish we can get. I mean, we will have a conversation again
We'll do a part two.
because we haven't gotten to those games. And so, if you would like to tell everybody what you're working on now, and where to reach you and everything, because they'd like to know.
Yeah, right now. Right now, it's only a few hours left. We have the Kickstarter for Fallen City Brawl, as you mentioned right in the intro. I feel a bit sad. I don't think we're going to hit our goals, but I guess we just have to try again. Maybe we have more things going on with the people that can contribute. I mean, technically, when I saw people watching the clip of the video, it's like 1,881 views. If everyone paid $10, this game would have been done.
Yeah, I was watching that also. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's hope that we get a second chance. And on other news, I'm working with a guy from Maryland. He's actually was one of the first foreigners working in Japan for SNK. He was part of penning stories and ideas for King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, and many games here. And he's been just working now. He moved back to United States early 2005, I think, and he's decided, I'm going to start up my own game studio, and it's only going to have industrial professionals who would like to be more creative with their work. And the company is called Starcaster Games. And right now, with the company, we're supposed to be working on one of the first PS5 titles, which is based around hack and slash beat 'em tournament fighter called Gladiator Begins on the PSP, and we're remodernizing it to something that's simply called Gladius with an X at the end. Gladius.
Okay.
So it's going to be like an epic gladiator arena with a really good storyline. So right now, unfortunately, with the COVID-19, the plan just went to shit. It's going to be delayed for later, but the story is at least there. So I got something to work on. But we have people from Rocksteady, who's part of designing the fighting system.
Oh, that's good news. That's very good news.
We just hope those guys get well because they also got infected by COVID-19. So a lot of financial things happening in the UK did not pan out. So we're behind, basically. And then other news, I'm not sure. What was it? This is nothing official or anything, but when I saw Capcom going to have a season 6,
I'm sure they're going to reach out.
They've rumored.
I have a feeling, but I can only think like which one of these characters would fit my music style for sure. And I know we were talking about Dan, the joke character of the SK. I was like, Dan would be a really fun character to write music for. If I can, I would love to.
There's a chance he's in there.
But all the other characters, I'm not really sure. The only character I wish would be back into the game would be Fei Long.
Yeah.
He would fit me like a.
Yeah.
Nothing of Fei Long has showed up there, so I'm a
That's
little bit
unfortunate,
sad.
too.
Yeah.
He's a great character.
Yeah, he'll probably be the only one left. Oh no, you got Hagar. You got to put Hagar.
Hagar.
He's never been in a Street Fighter.
Yeah, Hagar.
Yeah, there's one character in the shadows there. We're not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
But,
well, I'm intrigued.
yeah, having Guy, Cody, and Hagar in the same game.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't have.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they have it.
Do you think so?
It'd be called Final Fight Street Fighter.
Final fight.
No,
Final Street Fighter.
89.
Street
man.
Fighter,
Get it right.
Final Fight.
It's Street Fighter
Street
89.
Fighter Strider.
Final Street Fighter 5.
No.
Final Strider Fighter Street Fighter. No, fine.
Street Fighter 2019. Right? Was it 2010? What was it?
Something. 2000.
Street Fighter
Comic
COVID-19.
Street Fighter.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that name's gonna fly,
sorry.
bro.
I'm intrigued. I can't wait for what you're working on next.
Hell
But
yeah.
just tell everybody where to find you if they're looking for you.
All right. I'm on Twitter at Dropkick Monk, or I say Dropkick Monkey, but Dropkick Monk 3Y. That's where you can find me. And hopefully I will leave a link for my YouTube channel. I guess you've seen my YouTube channel already. It's a little bit of a mixed bag of talking, a few tutorials, and some music. Unreleased music from Street Fighter V is on my page there as well.
Yep.
All right.
We'll definitely include those links in the description.
And we definitely love to have you back on the show.
Yeah, we need a part
Whenever you
2.
want.
We need a part 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had
Yeah,
questions
too
about Resident
many
Evil
games.
6. We'll have to save that for part 2.
We'll definitely get to everything
All right.
else.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very fun story behind that game as
I
well.
know it too. I was like,
I
yeah, we're
can't
gonna have to
wait
need
to
another
hear
part for this.
We will be
Like
looking-
soon. Like
Yeah.
We'll be
like-
looking forward to it. Yes,
Yeah,
very
hell
much
yeah.
so.
Can you come back next week? I'm just kidding.
Let me check my schedule. Actually, that's the fun thing is that right now, this month, a lot of my, as you know, being in Japan, I'm also work as a language and cultural instructor. So a lot of the jobs I have are just contract jobs. So sometimes my jobs are falling off, and that means I finished the contract, and it means time opens up. So this month, I actually have 2 or 3 days it could actually work, but for you, yes.
Okay, we'll talk.
We'll definitely
We'll
be in
definitely-
contact.
Any
We'll keep-
Thursday will be
we'll
fine.
keep
Any
in-
Thursday will be fine for me. For you, Wednesday, obviously. Wednesday for you.
Thursday for him.
You got it. You got
Live
it.
from the future.
I'm from the future, Doc.
You know what's funny? Like we have next week open, right? we have next week open.
Yeah, we have next week open.
This might work out. Might
Actually,
work out.
I know we're live, but are you free next week?
Yeah,
We're doing this live
I'm
right
free
now.
on
We're
the
doing
tab.
this.
No problem.
Yeah?
So let's do a follow-up next
Oh
week.
shit! All
All
right.
right.
Part 2. Part 2.
This is awesome. This
First
is the,
time
this is the-
ever.
This is the first.
Next week.
Oh, it's
Oh,
dope.
right.
Okay, yeah.
All
Part
right,
2
We'll do it.
Always the
next
first.
week.
So it's fun.
That's
All
so
right.
fun.
So dope.
So in that case, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you for coming on.
Have a good one.
Take care, man.
Be good, brother.
Take
care,
care. See you
Daniel.
soon.
Yo, that's so awesome.
That's
It's like,
dope.
yo, wait, we don't have a guest next week. You want to get down next week? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it next week.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I was like, you know what? Let me just.
I wish
ask.
we could have like a 6-hour podcast for him because I have so much shit
Oh,
I want to
dude.
ask him.
Yeah.
So much. I
You
wanted
know?
this. You know what?
The music producers have funny stories.
Yeah,
They
like, I
have,
wanted-
Yeah.
interesting.
And we do the
lot of
music thing
stories.
too, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to
Yeah.
know more. I
I
want to know
wanted.
more.
I wanted to know more about the. I was gonna ask him, what are your best impersonations?
Oh man, that's next.
Because
Oh,
he
next
has
week.
I know he has a ton of them. I know he
that's
gave
a
us a
whole-
few before,
The whole show.
but I want you
It's a
guys
whole
to hear
show.
it. I want you
The
guys out there
first
to
guest
hear it.
ever to be part 2 the following week.
Yeah,
That's fire,
this is
dude.
a first.
That's
Like I
fire.
wasn't expecting that at all.
That's the first.
Wow, man.
Awesome.
But anyway, yo, you guys out there who've been watching us, thank you so much. If you've been watching this live, also you can follow us on all our social media so you don't miss out on anything that we do here. We haven't done a giveaway in a while, but we might do a giveaway very soon. The only way to know about it is if you follow us on all our social media and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch this live, we do it every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time
Eastern time, suckers.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to the podcast, you can do so on all the podcasting services.
Stream it.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Until next week, part 2.
That's right.
Peace.